last we met, the Crown Collectors had found themselves in a bit of a spot of bother, as it were, and insofar that they, on a mission to retrieve a tiara from a prominent party member's house, found that they were not the only ones searching for this item. The Sapphire, the elusive and deadly thieves guild that seems to have taken up residence within Brackenshire and has been at odds with your party ever since you arrived, has gotten there first. They have stolen the tiara, killed everyone in the house, and tried to make quick their escape before you thwarted their exit. You managed to kill 3 of their members, including the dwarven rogue who had stolen Atgeir's money purse, to which he had gotten it back. However, in your efforts to toss the place and search for your quarry, the guards, through no small fault of your own, managed to see past your attempts to trick them and began to flood the premises en masse in order to apprehend whoever it was that was responsible for this grievous crime. At this present moment, I'm going to switch you guys all over to the map, and you're going to find yourselves at the north end of the property. All of you had exited through the window, and you know by now that the house is being overrun with guards. I need a perception check from everybody.
Cool.
Okie dokie.
That's not good.
Look at us not seeing things.
Look, sunlight.
Unnatural 20.
All right. So I need one from Koza. I need one from... We'll have Atgeir. I'll roll for him for now.
What am I rolling?
Perception check.
Okay. Not great. 9.
All right. Well, it looks like kind of made up for it. You know what you see through the window, just as you guys are kind of looking around for what to do. You see, and if you guys go to the map, at the middle of the house, you hear a stomping, and through the window you can see several figures entering the bedroom at which you had just exited. One of them being this extremely large and imposing individual who you saw guarding the gate of Brightstone. This is one of the 2 albino minotaurs, and he's just kind of pacing around the bedroom. You also see this guy who you would recognize, and all of you pretty much would recognize as someone of a little higher status than just a run-of-the-mill guard. You know, his armor is adorned with some gold accoutrement. He's carrying a rather elaborate long sword in his hand. Some sort of officer. Not exactly sure. You don't recognize him, but the character that you see that really catches your attention, is this individual, and I'm going to post this on the chat. You see this person. And what you see is not that you recognize so much the person themselves, but rather their armor. The black steeled skull face. You recognize this as a member of the Onyx Order, the Empire's intelligence and inquisitorial arm of their government. This does not bode well. These people are ruthless in their search for answers and their pursuit of justice as they see it. What you also see with an unnatural 20 as you scan around is about 50 feet to the northeast past the wall of the house that you're in, you see a sewer entrance.
Yuno's gonna straight up Misty Step 30 feet closer to the sewer entrance and take off running.
Okay. I'm gonna...
Rosa's just gonna take off in whatever direction away from the house.
Okay. Make another perception check, Koza.
That's a... Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey. You let
I
us
got-
all
we're here.
know.
11.
11. Okay.
They didn't hear.
Let's see here. Looks like Mike's coming on board. That's cool. Unless he's not. He just said sorry about that. Okay, so with an 11, I'm going to say that's you barely see a flash as Yuno disappears next to you, and you see him reappear about 30, 40 feet away from what looks like a hole in the concrete-like stone on the floor just against the wall.
I'm gonna go towards there.
Okay.
I'll catch sight of that and make the same.
Okay,
Same.
I'm gonna roll and see if Atgear and they okay. Axton got a 19, Atgear got a 14. Yeah, everybody notices disappearing. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they would like to get away from here as well. And as you all depart towards the sewer entrance, you see the Minotaur kind of poke his head out of the window, and really quickly, let me roll to see if he perceives you. Yeah, that's a natural 16. Yeah, he snaps his head in your direction as you're about 30, 40 feet away, and he goes, "They're here! Bring the others! Chase them down!" So, you have got some people hot on your ass. You find yourself at the sewer entrance. What do you do?
I'm going to hop in the sewer.
Okay. It is large enough for you to go in one at a time. It's about a foot and a half tall, about 3 feet wide. So I would say Koza's going to be a tight squeeze, but I think he'll be able to make it in there. So I need a let's call this a... I don't think any of you are proficient in like cave diving through tight spaces, so I need everybody to just give me a general dexterity check. General dexterity.
Cool.
Just to see if you guys can get in there without getting stuck.
3.
All right. Koza is stuck. Dice do not like you today. All right.
Can I try help him pull himself through?
Yeah, you can make a strength check. Atgear also got stuck, unless you want to... Oh, he already rolled for himself, so I'm not going to count that one. Axton was able to slip in. He got a natural 17. He's good.
No.
I need a dex check from Yuno.
It's in the chat.
Oh, 19. I see it. Good. All right, I'd say everybody gets in. Yeah, Olivia, you're able to kind of shove Kozas through the hole, and you guys all drop about 5-6 feet down splash into really, really disgusting water, and you can just barely hear peripheral that you hear not the Minotaur, but you hear another authoritative figure. They went into the sewers, and so you now at the last thing you see before disappearing into the sewers is one of the guards jumps out the window, and you see about 3 or 4 of the guards rounding the edges of the property, and they all seem to be converging towards you. So, what I need to know from everybody is, and by the way, you take a look around, and it's very dark, and you notice that there are 3 ways to go from here. There's a tunnel straight ahead, there's a way left, and a way right, with your backs up against the wall. So what would you guys like to do?
Straightforward seems about right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all just gonna make a mad dash forward.
All right.
All right then. I'll follow the crowd.
Are you guys moving stealthily, or are you just hauling ass?
Just hauling ass.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Then in that case, I'm gonna roll to see if anybody. All right, so I'm gonna say you guys get about 40 feet down a straight tunnel that curves to the right, and just as you round that tunnel, you can hear the sounds of splashing that sounds exactly like the sounds that you made when you hit the ground. You turn right. You're pretty confident that you're out of view, but is there anything that you guys wish to do? Can I try and figure out which takes us towards the walls? Oh yeah, you're moving towards you feel like you're moving away from Brightstone in the direction that you're going.
I'm going to make an illusion that like the path that we took is a flat wall.
Okay. Go ahead and make a performance check. Just to see if you, in this very quick, you've got like 3 or 4 seconds to make this illusion stick, and I want to see if you're able to kind of mimic everything without it looking too fake.
Cool. Could I do deception?
Yes, you can absolutely do deception. Kravish, you take the communication stone and you hear a buzz of chatter. Did you see where they went? Yeah, they jumped out the window. Oh, I think one of them went down the sewer. Yeah, we've got 5 guys heading down there now. We'll send the rest. You just hear a cacophony of people issuing orders, responding to orders. It's not really panic. It's just a hastened situation with a lot of people moving in sort of the same direction. A 9 deception. That's not great.
It's terrible.
So, yeah, you find yourself kind of really quickly waving your hand and with a glance, just a glance. You've never been in the sewers of Brightstone before. With a really quick glance around, you're like, this kind of looks like it. And you get the feeling that it's probably not going to hold up to intense scrutiny. So, where you guys are now is you see a fork in the road yet again. Go ahead and everybody give me a it's just a word that says flat wall. I don't know what that means, Edgar. Anyway,
flight weapons malfunction. We're all good here. Fine. Everything's fine.
Like
okay,
the illusion just turned out to be a word that said flat wall floating in the air.
Oh, it's just a word that says, I get it. Yeah, go ahead and give me a deception check, Kravish.
Getting a deception.
What was the other roll you wanted us to do at the 3 forks?
Nothing yet. I'll get to that in just a second. Okay, deception. Yeah. So, what is it you want to say to them?
I'm just giving them false directions that we have sight of them, like going the opposite direction that we were going.
Okay. As you do that, you do hear people say, "Who's that? Who is that? Oh, I think that's Jurgen. Yeah. All right, make your way down towards the left side. That seems to be where they're heading." And you get a sense that maybe that worked, at least for a few of them. But you guys are at this point long gone. You can't hear anything. So you find yourself at a fork in the road. Left or right is your option. Anybody who wishes can make a perception check to kind of get a feel for which direction each fork goes.
I'm going to take a die of bardic inspiration.
Okay.
I'll do that too.
Okay.
So that's a 18.
All right. So you guys get the feeling that the left
11.
side
Okay.
is the way to go. And if you wish to communicate that to the group, now would be the time.
Say that again.
Kravish, you don't really see much unless that's your.
That was a
that
die of
6?
bardic inspiration I added to my perception roll.
Oh, right on. Oh,
So
I
that's
see.
all.
So
it's 11.
11. Yeah, you're kind of in a mad dash panic right now. You're having trouble sort of deciding on which is the safest route. All you know is you want to get away. Atgear, however,
I mean,
gets the feeling that it is definitely left.
I mean, I know Atgear is like a dwarf and he knows tunnels and things, so I'm gonna just follow him.
Atgear also has dark vision, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna move you guys
Oh,
over
yeah.
here.
Follow me,
If you wanna place your minis on the map, this is what you see in the left section. The left road takes you down about 70, 80 feet down a 15-foot wide tunnel that looks like it goes off to the right. And I will bring Axton over.
The thing gives me the biggest problems with wanting to move my token over.
There you go. Now we just need Koza and Atgear. I will do that for you, Mike. Unless you can.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. I'll keep you with the group. All right. So, I need a last. You guys kind of stick your head out into the tunnel from where you were before, and I need you guys to give me one last perception check, as you are just kind of craning to see if you hear any movement, because you guys have taken some turns, some movements. You're trying to figure out if anybody is following you. All right, so Atgear, you're rolling good today. We're going with yours. You kind of have your ear pressed against the wall, actually, and your hand is flat down on the floor, and you're feeling for vibrations. This is normal for you. It comes naturally for you to listen for cave-ins in mines or the mountain tunnels that you grew up in. So you're very adept at listening for any sounds within a tunnel, and you hear a distant footfalls that seem to be going away and getting softer and softer. And I'm guessing he communicates that with you. I guess we're playing fast and loose on whether or not Mike can communicate, because I think he's at work today. So he communicates that to you all.
All right.
So, you have the tunnel to yourselves. You don't feel like you're totally out of the woods just yet, but you definitely feel like nobody is presently chasing you as we speak.
Cool. I'm gonna send an invisible jelly. To scout a bit ahead while we going.
Go ahead and make a perception check for Jelly.
Cool. Oh wait, let me just open up these stats.
Sure. And if it doesn't offend any of you, I'm gonna eat my lunch while we're messing around here.
Only you brought it up for the rest of the class.
I did. Do you like
cool.
spicy chicken nuggets?
Oh, I love them.
Okay. You're all welcome to them.
Thanks.
You just gotta get on a
Appreciate
plane
it.
and head on over to New York where I live. And I actually found a place that sells 9-pound bags of spicy nuggets. So I pretty much bought them out because I love them. They're awesome. And my roommates love them too. All right.
There's never anything left.
Okay. So. Okay, 18 for Jelly. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the map for Jelly, and I'm guessing that he's communicating to you and you're communicating to them, right?
Yeah.
All right. He sees this. He sees a U bend in the tunnel, which then drops into another tunnel entrance. Moving forward, you see that there's debris in the corners of the room. Doesn't look like this place has been serviced or in service as far as a sewer tunnel. There's caked slime that's long dried. It reminds you kind of the tunnels under Dias Mordran's fortress, although there's a lot more like moisture and humidity in here, whereas those tunnels were dry and completely unused for centuries. This looks like it hasn't been used maybe in the past six months to a year. As there is sort of like a pasty sludge on the floor, but it's not anything that cause for concern as far as poisoning you or anything like that.
Do you think we can afford time at least for a short rest with Jelly guarding?
Yeah, in the tunnel. Huh. I mean, that would be lovely, but. I don't know. Is there a check to see if we can reason this? If we can figure if it is possible?
Alternatively, we could go find someone's house, take them all hostage, and sleep there.
Or I can spend 10 minutes casting Tiny Hut as a ritual, and it'll block the hallway, so no one will be able to get to us, and we can rest.
Let's do that.
Well, as Jelly is standing
Sounds
there. As Jelly is standing there, his perception allows him to see this.
Whoa.
Looks like there's a chamber of what looks like tattered beds turned over, unmade, unkempt. There's debris in the corner. Looks like possibly... You guys ever experience like a creek or a river where spring water... like the snowmelt brings like branches and stuff downstream, and it just kind of washes on the shores.
Yeah,
that's kind of what you're looking at, where it looks like this used to be debris that would move through the sewer, but since it's been dried, it just sort of stayed in the corners and dried out. And you do see a couple beds. It looks like there's a large chamber, maybe 40-50 feet in width, and you're not exactly sure how deep because Jelly is just at the corner where he is. And we'll say Axton's going to take the plunge and he's going to move forward. He's going to go around here. He's going to make a perception check. That's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and open up the rest of this to you. And it is a rather large, looks like a sewer junction of some sort. So go ahead and give me a perception check from everybody.
Yeah, for some reason I had 2 tokens.
How did you get there, Pravish?
Magic.
He phased through the walls.
Yep.
So. Yeah, if I can get a perception check from everybody.
Cool.
Well, at least I rolled in double digits this time.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. All right. So.
Do one for Jelly.
Yeah, definitely. Do one for Jelly.
Good old Jelly.
All right. Hold, please. Let's see here. All right. You guys get the sense that it's over. You have gotten around the more the more dramatic of the foot traffic has left. You feel you are alone here. You've been sitting here for about 2-3 minutes, which is long enough to find out if anybody on your heels would have found you and made life extremely difficult for you. So what you do see is you kind of scan your surroundings. You're all out of breath. You're dirty. You're bloody. You're injured. You're worried. You're scared. You're angry. A lot of emotional turmoil going through. And you take a look around. And what you see is a large chamber with a drain at the bottom. There are plants that are old and dried that are growing out of the drain. And you see a just scattering of wood and refuse and debris, and 2 entrances out of here, not counting the way you came, appear to be blocked up or stopped up with debris, one of which looks like it's a natural occurrence up here, where it looks like roots or vines that have long dried have grown through and sort of blocked entry. And this way out here looks to be maybe man-made or unnatural in some way. There is a large collection of debris shoved into it, but there's also a covering of spider webs that don't seem to appear anywhere else in the room. There are several beds in different corners of the room. Most of them are unkept. One of them is knocked over, broken. They all don't look very comfortable. But the thing that really interests you guys is there are a pair of corpses right here. Both of them bloody, both of them unmoving, one of which is clutching a gold goblet in one hand, and his skeletal-like hand, his other skeletal hand is clutching a piece of parchment.
Loot the bodies, loot the bodies, loot the bodies. All right.
Let's read that parchment.
Easy enough to do. I'm not going to make you roll for it.
All right. I'm going to take a look at these bodies.
Okay. They look like they've been dead about anywhere between 2 months to a year. It's difficult to say. This place is unusually dry, but it is a sewer, so there is quite a bit of decay that has set in. And the gold goblet first of all, they're both clutching weapons, and the knife, one of the knives, is actually plunged into this guy's chest, and you can see several lacerations on the other gentleman's body. So you could probably surmise that this was some sort of a struggle between these two. However,
natural causes.
Yeah, definitely natural causes. The gentleman on the right, who is clutching the goblet, is also holding a piece of parchment in his hand that looks like this. And let me not just put that in one of your chats, but the big chat. Right here. Can everybody see that?
I do.
Rathbone, meet the... What do you suppose it means? These two meeting at Rathbone. I like pull up one of their sleeves. Oh wait, are they like? Is there skin left? Or is it?
Yes, there's some. There's some. No, there is decay, but it's almost like it seems like this part of the sewer is relatively dry, so it's almost like a shrink-wrapped skin. It's not quite mummified. They haven't been here that long. It's gooey. They don't smell very good, but there is a little skin.
Like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for like tattoos to mark. If there's like if there's sapphire tattoo or anything on their body, tattoos.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Cool. The master of investigation.
Yeah, you don't see anything. As a matter of fact, when you pull up the sleeve, you sort of flay the skin from the bone, and it just sort of slides off the arm.
Well, these fellas do not seem to be part of any gang. I wonder who they were planning on meeting in Rathbone. Indeed.
Now, that was the
gentlemen.
one parchment. Was that correct? They're both not carrying parchments. It was just the one carrying a parchment.
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. Anything else amongst the
gentlemen.
personal effects that may give any indication to who they are or what?
Give me an investigation, Kravish.
Alrighty.
Nice.
You find, since it looks like, now you're not an expert on duels or anything like that, but it looks like these two killed each other. So there really wasn't an ability for either of them to loot the other. So you find on their corpses, one has a pouch of 27 silver, 63 copper, and the other one has a pouch of 14 gold, 18 silver, and 4 copper. They're also carrying daggers, both of them. And one has what looks like a spiked mace that's at his side, and the other one is unarmed, but looks like a knife plunged in the other guy's chest. So.
And nothing else in their bags or effects like letters, notes, insignias of rank, anything like that?
Nope, they're not carrying any bags or satchels. They just have little tiny hip pouches, and that's it.
Okay. So we're left with this golden goblet.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. It's not jeweled. It's got kind of silver inlay, and now that you're looking at it, it doesn't feel particularly heavy. So you surmise. Go ahead and give me a what would this be? Just give me a general intelligence check. Anybody who is looking at the goblet.
Cool.
Bam.
Cool. Yeah, you're pretty sure this is fake. It's either fake or it's gold-plated, which is actually kind of a new technology. That's not something that you see very often. Is the ability to plate metal with gold. So you get the sense that this is either fake or plated with gold. So perhaps not terribly valuable. I mean, it's probably worth a gold or two. But it was obviously enough for these two to fight over it because they're both kind of clutching it.
Is there any way?
So it's not magical.
I mean, this is a stab in the dark, and anybody else can chime in too. But anyway, thinking it may be magical or anything. I'm asking this out to Yuno. Like, would you? This doesn't appear to be an incredibly valuable goblet, but that doesn't mean it can't be magical.
And Edgar just takes it and starts waving it around to see if anything happens. It's last time.
Take a couple minutes to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
The only items of magical quality are what you're carrying. The goblet does not emit a magical aura.
Okay.
Well, it seems like we have two options.
After the events of the past couple of hours, I'm just a little leery of strange shiny objects floating about.
Sure. Understood.
It seems like we could either stay here for a long rest or a short rest. Of course, long rest would be better, but I wonder if the gods will end up doing a full search of the sewers in that time.
We could also do a rest once we get out of here. But your call. I like the tiny hut idea.
I would like Koza to make a history check for me.
$16.
Okay. Something about that parchment. You've traveled further west than where you are now, Brackenshire. In your journeys, you have heard of the village of Rathburn. You've never been. You don't particularly remember a reason ever traveling that far off of the Emperor's Highway. But you have heard that it is something of a den of thieves. That's just what you've heard, that it is within the Caulded Stix, the swamps, and that generally most people don't go there because it can be a little rough around the edges. However, you do also know that you've heard that it is a place to go for thieves, as it is usually left completely alone by the Empire. It's not really somewhere that the Empire chooses to go. It's not like the Caulded Stix is a valuable plot of land where they would find use of it. So it seems to be kind of a lay low kind of a place.
Okay.
Do you wish to communicate that to the party at all?
Yes, I will relay all that information to the rest of the party.
Go ahead.
This seems to come from a sort of den of thieves that I've heard about growing up. I'm not sure if we'd want to travel there, if that's where our adventures take us. But certainly worth noting.
Well, I mean, if it is on the way to one of the other places we intended on visiting, we may as well check it out.
Well, is this seedy place you don't want to be? Is it the place that the Empire is, or does the Empire not want to be there either?
Perhaps we could find a magic gnome type of person who stole our trophy. Just saying. Because
you have a good point, Addy.
I don't know about you, but I would rather not go back empty-handed with this much heat on us. Might just get sold out.
So, Kravish, you're listening to the Sending Stone, and you hear it's getting more and more difficult for you to actually hear anything. You hear kind of like voices kind of cutting in and out. It seems that... Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me. Since you're really kind of paying attention to this thing, I want you to see what you get out of it by staring at it and looking at it and really getting a sense for it. Okay. You get the sense that this is a weaker version of this stone. When you were walking your way up to Brightstone the very first time, you saw a larger, more brightly lit stone on the shoulder of what appeared to be a lieutenant or a sergeant. It appears that this is something of a short-range communicating stone, maybe 100 yards, maybe more. And you get the sense that the voices cutting in and out and being kind of hard to understand might suggest that the people on the other end of it are pretty far away.
Okay, so like an FM radio that's getting out of range.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Okay, and so I relay these assumptions to them. It's like, I've been listening to this thing and voices are cutting out. I think we're starting to get out of range of most of the guard patrols, or they're getting out of range of us.
Do you think we have time for a short rest?
I probably wouldn't fire anything longer than that. We still have... We can't take up shop here forever.
Well, if the stone there gets louder, we can always just, fuck off.
So yes, I agree. Let's take a short rest, and I'm interested into this this part where there's no spiders.
Okay. So Yuno is casting Tiny Hut. It looks like he's casting it at the north end of the room. Is that what you were doing? I just lost my computer for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. If you guys want to take a rest, it appears that Yuno is making it available for you to be protected.
Cool.
Yeah, go ahead and anybody who's looking around the room is, if you guys are sitting down, getting comfortable, give me just a perception check for the room.
So perceptive.
And you guys are going to have to shout out your score because I just lost connection to Roll20 for just a second.
Got a 4.
Okay.
13.
8. The dice gods are not smiling to me today.
Oh, that's weird. I guess I actually hit investigate, but I got a 13 for perception.
Okay. So you get the sense that I keep saying you get a sense. You get the feeling that the blocked up entrances, one of them seems a little hollow on the other side, on the north end. And you hear absolutely no noise coming from where you came. The entrance to the right, where the spider webs are, seems pretty solid, actually.
Okay.
Yes, well, to me, the north seems to be a better option. How about the rest of you?
Well, I mean, we're taking our short rest anyhow, so...
Yeah.
Anybody do what you need to do for that.
I'm gonna roll some hit die.
Yeah. Okay, you guys can go ahead and roll your hit dice to heal up for a short rest. Anyone who has arcane recovery that wishes to regain some spell slots can also do that. You guys have got about an hour and a half of free time here. Is there anything anybody would like to do, say, or accomplish in this time?
Next time, let's not try to blow everything in the house up and see, and hope nobody hears it. Trip tactic.
Oh, yeah. Defs agree. Oh, wait, Kravish, do you have Song of Rest by chance?
I do have Song of Rest. And so I will zip up a nice calming tune for you guys.
As you guys are sort of settling in, sort of wondering...
You get an extra 1d6 hit points.
Ooh. Yeah, you guys are just kind of posting up at different corners of the room. Just kind of contemplating on what just transpired in the last 20 minutes. And Kravish pulls out his mandolin and starts strumming it, and the notes off of the strings start to reverberate a purplish... light purplish and white sort of effervescent gossamer that just sort of weaves around the room as he's strumming this very low and slow tune. You feel this gossamer-like wispy strands of arcane energy just sort of swirl about the room and settle down onto your tired muscles, and you just feel just the slightest bit of relief, as almost like you just kind of stepped out of a warm bath, and your arms and legs feel just a little less sore. The tension in your neck and your shoulders just seems to relieve a little bit, and you guys heal up a little extra. Anybody else?
Guys.
Oh, good.
Well,
Hey, so that was
we're
fun.
ending up. I'm like, there's one other thing that's been nagging at me here during this little period of rest. Both of our missions for the Marquis both had Sapphire mixed up in it.
What name was that again?
The Marquis.
No,
The Marquis
the group you were mixed up with.
with the Sapphire. Have you noticed that? I mean, there were Sapphire agents guarding Mr. Fex.
So that's what they're called.
And then we wander into this house we go into this house to steal an artifact only to find them a step ahead of us.
Do we know anything else?
Wait, so you're saying that he works for the Sapphire crew?
It's a coincidence that shouldn't be ignored.
Right, well, maybe there's only so many good targets in this city. I mean, how many rich people can there be?
Do we know anything else about this Sapphire group?
Right, well, I know they're all a bunch of assholes.
You could say that.
That's really all you need to know.
True indeed.
Right, so it's agreed then. They are our mortal friends. No, wait, enemies. That makes more sense. So we should find them and we should burn their homes.
Well, I
Stampede the
suggest we
women and
lay
rape
low for a bit. Oh, jeez.
So after about an hour, you
lay low
guys...
for a bit.
Oh, go ahead.
Leave this town.
I think it would be wise to lay low, and when things seem clear, we should investigate this Sapphire group and once and for all eliminate them as a threat.
Maybe we go off and do one of the adventures we planned on, and we come back to this town and eliminate the Sapphire. It's sad, but I'm gonna have to leave Shortcake. I believe that the stable people will take care of her.
I mean,
While you all are sitting
and how,
I don't think it's a good idea to show our face in this town for at least a while.
Yeah.
I don't think the Marquise will be a welcoming person if we were to show up.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because in your head, Kervish, you hear a familiar voice. It's a low, raspy tabaxi that you have all come to know. And it says, "My friend Kravish, it is Jen. Where are you? Are you in danger?"
Oh, okay.
And you would know that you can respond.
I can. I actually say out loud to the group that's like, I've just gotten some sort of telepathic message from Jen, our tabaxi friend with the Marquise. He's asking where we are.
Oh, you should definitely not tell him that. Yeah, tell him that the Sapphire folk have murdered an entire town full of people and then escaped through the sewers after stealing the crown. And we saw it from a safe distance and are now making our way back home.
Right. Anybody else?
I think you can tell Jen the fast and loose of it, but
Okay.
maybe keep out the details in case the message gets intercepted.
Okay, sure. So I will kind of think back to Jim, and I'll tell him the Sapphire had to jump on us for some reason. Barely made it out safely.
Wait a moment. Another moment. And then again in your head you hear his voice. "I understand. God damn that Sapphire. They have been undermining us at every go the past month. Well, where are you? Do you require assistance? The Marquis will wish to speak to you."
Jem is asking us if we require assistance and saying the Marquise will want to speak with us. Do we accept his offer?
I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not opposed to meeting up with the Marquis.
Suspicions aside, he's the only person here in Brackenshire that we have any knowledge of and has any degree of good tidings for us.
I'm not opposed to meeting him.
Be a wise choice for now.
Huh?
I think the Marquis would. It would benefit us to go see him. At least so we can lay low for now.
All right.
Yeah, so let's keep that bridge unburned.
Okay, then. Fair enough. So we're currently laying low until the heat dies down, but would graciously accept the Marquis' offer of assistance.
Couple seconds go by, and in your head you hear, "Very good, my friend. I will bring my cart. If you wish to leave your area that you are in and make your way to the north side of, I'm assuming it's Brightstone, I will intercept you, and you will have safe passage out of the district in my cart. I will be there in 2 hours."
Guys, we've got 2 hours to meet up with Jim at the northern end of Brackenshire. Jim will be there with his cart to grant us safe passage out of Brightstone.
Excellent. We should maybe get on the move then.
Yes, let's leave as soon as possible.
So let's pack up our troubles and get moving. Anybody have any idea which way north is?
I think it's in the non-spiderweb direction.
Could I make a check to try and determine what direction north is?
Oh, it was already been pointed out to us that it was through the topmost area.
Yeah, this has been decidedly measured as at least the north entrance out of this room.
Okay.
And in front of it are just broken barrels, what looks like scavenged dry goods that have either been gone through or used, broken boxes and crates, and just a twisted set of vines and dried sticks and roots that have kind of grown into this entrance, but it doesn't seem terribly solid. Firebolt, firebolt, firebolt from...
Start a fire where there's no water nearby.
Koza's going to cast Produce Flame on one of the barrels.
Okay, the barrel is now on fire. And Yuno looks like he's making headway with clearing the exit from this room of vines. It doesn't take long. The smoke starts to gather on the ceiling of this place, and it begins to kind of become a little uncomfortable to breathe. But within about 3 or 4 minutes, the vines are at least burned away enough where you guys can skedaddle.
All right, let's go.
Cool.
All right.
Send invisible jelly ahead to scout while we go.
Okay. All right, so yeah, ahead of you, you see a very long, dark, pitch black tunnel. The ground here is rather wet, and it doesn't really seem to be anything but a regular sewer tunnel. If you guys want to give me if whoever's going ahead, if you want to give me a perception check for Jelly or anyone else who's sort of taking lead.
$21 for jelly.
Okay, yeah, seems pretty safe to say that this is just a normal, dark, dank, gross section of sewer, and the farther Jelly goes, the more the ground becomes wet until there is sort of a gentle flowing stream from... Jelly looks left and right and can see sewer entrances that disappear into darkness. It looks like it's getting dark outside, where sewage is and rainwater and whatever else moisture from the city is gathered here, is dripping in from the entrances and gathering on the floor and flowing in the same direction that you're going. And seems pretty quiet.
Yeah, so I'll just be like telling everybody every now and then, like a little footnote of like what Jelly sees as we go.
Okay. And Kravish, every now and then you kind of dip your head into the well of this sending stones noise that it's making, and you kind of keep hearing, every now and then you'll hear like a fresh voice that's very, very clear, but it just seems like somebody on a regular patrol, not related to pursuing you, just more like, you know, this is Jabbits reporting all clear on the north side of Brightstone, and that's it. However, you do occasionally hear just like the same hushed or hurried voices from the other party, but the further you guys go from it, the further it seems that you're getting away from these voices. So,
well, hopefully this means we're on the right track, getting away from the heat.
Koza, why don't you make a perception check for me?
That's going to be 14.
14. You guys are just sort of trudging along the sewer, and you're about every 100 feet or so, there's a turn left, a turn right, and you're kind of gauging which way is north based on where these sewer entrances are. The flow of water seems to be getting heavier, and your nose perks up about 20 feet ahead. There, you get the sense that there is a sewer entrance that is opening up to the night air. That seems relatively quiet. Doesn't seem to be any activity beyond it. And you guys have been moving now for about 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes. So you've gotten quite far away. Kravish, your stone has gone dark.
Okay. Do we dare venture a look topside?
I think it seems safe.
I would like to use beast shape to turn into like a rat and try and like poke my head out.
Yeah, go ahead and make a rat. Does beast shape, is it the same as polymorph, or you have to take the animal's stats?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check with a rat.
Okay. One second. Rat. Okay. That's an 8.
8. It's dark. I mean, you don't really see much other, and you don't see any foot traffic. Looks like you see a stone wall directly ahead of you, and everything seems quiet. You hear the rustling of branches and leaves in the breeze, but that's about it.
All right, I'm gonna go back down, get out of B shape, and just say, it looks clear, but I'd still be careful.
Cool. Olivia climbs out of the grate.
Okay. Olivia, you climb out of the grate, and you see directly ahead of you, about 3 feet directly ahead of you, a stone wall, and you look up and look to the left. It looks like you're at the back of a house.
Like inside the property?
Yeah.
Everybody, be quiet. I think we're inside somebody's property. We're going to have to scale this wall. I mean, like, so I guess I'll send Jelly, like, to fly up and see, like, an aerial view if, like, we're close to the north side of Brightstone.
Okay, I would say Jelly probably knows which way is north, being that he's a sprite and is used to flying high and getting his bearings, so I would say he probably knows which way is north. So yeah, he shoots straight up. Give me another perception check for Jelly.
Ooh.
Okay.
22.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, he shoots about 50 feet straight up in the air, and just gives a quick look around and communicates with you that you guys are pretty far north. There is and the property that you are in has a gate about 20 feet to your immediate right, and the gate actually looks open, and in the courtyard of this estate is a large white obelisk that goes up about 40 feet that you would surmise could serve as sort of a landmark if you were trying to meet somewhere.
So I tell everyone this, and it's like, and the gate seems open. We could even tell Jen to meet us somewhere near this white obelisk if we were to head out through this gate.
Well, I have no means to communicate to him. He's the one that initiated it.
Well, maybe he'll contact us when he gets to the area. But I suggest we leave this person's property through the gate.
Sounds good. How much time do you figure has elapsed?
About an hour. You guys have been traversing the between the last time you spoke to Zhen, your kind of gathering up of your supplies after your short rest, the clearing of the root system in front of the entrance. You guys have been traversing the sewers now. I'd say it's been about an hour.
Okay. Still a long time to be loitering.
You will also note, Olivia, that in Jelly's ascendance into the sky, he also noticed kind of a, not too far away, maybe 40, 50 feet down the street, what appears to be a large public gazebo, public meaning public for Brightstone. And there appears to be some kind of not a festival, but sort of a gathering of people wearing masquerade masks and just sort of dancing and being frivolous. And it's not too far away. You guys can't really hear it. It doesn't seem to be a loud gathering, but definitely like a gala, something where rich people go and talk about how, rich they are and influential they are and all that.
Well, there seems to be a party going on just a little bit further. Everybody's wearing masquerade masks, so if we were to infiltrate it, we could wear masks. Nobody would identify us. But it'd be better than loitering on the street, I guess.
True that. Any way we can get the smell of the sewers off of us before we go mingling in?
That I leave to you.
Well, I believe I've seen use prestidigitation.
All right.
Uses prestidigitation on everyone. Prestidigitation. Why is that so hard to say?
Station. We know what you meant.
Pretty station. Yeah. It takes about 10 minutes, but he kind of waves his hand around, and all of you feel like a nearly invisible layer of silt and dirt and muck just sort of lift off your clothes and fall to the ground as like an ashy dust. You feel fine. You still kind of smell a little bit, but not as nearly as much as you did. I mean, let's be honest, it's hard for even the rich to stay completely odor-free. So you feel that you'll probably be okay.
All right, then. Let's keep track of the time, because we have a car to catch.
Indeed. We have about an hour. Let's see what we can glean from this party.
Yeah, you guys make your way over. Is there anything you would like to do? And it doesn't seem like there's any like a guard or a doorman. It just seems like that there's this open octagonal shaped gazebo where everybody just seems to be congregating from all over the neighborhood. Is there anything anybody would like to do to disguise yourselves, or are you just walking in?
Vendor selling masks.
I'm going to
That's...
use a mask, and I'm going to cast disguise self. Just look like a middle-aged man, just balding brown hair, big old. But I got like a mask on.
Okay. So whoever was looking for someone selling masks, go ahead and make make an investigation check.
I'd also like to help them. So advantage.
Okay. Krabish, you don't see someone selling masks, but you actually do see somebody handing out. They're not selling them, but you see someone handing out very, very simplified porcelain with maybe a little bit of silver filigreed across the bridge of the nose. These like half masks attached to a stick. For anybody there who doesn't happen to have their own mask, like this is something that they just kind of hand out.
Sure. So I'll make my way over that way. keeping my hood up over my face. And just, motion to ask for a mask.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's this little girl. She's in like this really pretty silver and pink puffy dress with a very wide skirt, almost like it's filled with tulle or something that really puffs it out. And she's not just handing them to you. She's got a whole arm full of them, and she's got like big Marie Antoinette hair and white powder face, and she's just sort of handing them to anybody who's walking by.
Gotcha. Okay, then.
Cool. I'll take one as well.
Yeah. And Adkir, go ahead and roll investigation. That was for you. He's looking for a golden pass, and while he's doing that, I would like if you guys are trying to find out anything you can glean from this party, go ahead and give me a perception check as you just kind of mingle about the place for a little while you're waiting on Zhen.
Our passive perception towards it?
Yeah, what's your passive perception? If you just want to just kind of
15.
Listen in. 15? Yeah, okay, so you hear broken conversations as you kind of toddle and mingle about the crowd. Broken conversations about the state of the conflict up north. That is something that you hear. You don't really hear any details. You also hear somebody complaining that the tax rate has increased since last quarter. Nothing super substantial. You don't hear anything about the break-in, which is odd because you think you would have heard something, that news would have gotten around, at least with the amongst the elite. Koza, you hear a lot of conversation about the fact that there's quite a few people interested in the fact that the prince was here not too long ago, and what was he doing here, and how long did he stay, and who did he see, what did he do, what did he want. There's a lot of, it seems like there's at least this small group of like maybe 6 or 7 little tiny tight bunches of people kind of gossiping about what the prince was doing here, and why didn't I get an audience with them, and why didn't I get to talk to him. I pay a lot of money in my taxes just like everybody else, and that seems to be the gist of what you're hearing. There's also talk of a precious artifact being found, and nobody knows what it was, and nobody knows what it does. Some people don't believe there even was a discovery, that this is just whoever brought it up, it's them trying to be the center of attention in the conversation. And that seems to be about it. You guys spend about 45 minutes before Kravish, in your head you hear, "My friend Kravish, it is I, Zhen. I am nearby. Where can I find you?"
And I'll just reflect back that there is a small public gala taking place, and this was by the Stone Obelisk, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I relay that to him.
Ah, you are at the Farrington estate. Very good. I shall be there in momentarily. And it takes about a minute before you do see a familiar dressed in a purple, black, and silver trim cloak, hood, the white fur of the Tabaxi Zhen, who is atop his cart. The cart appears completely empty, and he just kind of sits there because he can't actually. You get the sense he can't see you.
Okay. So if I can see him, I start to make my way out towards him. And once I get free from the public proper, I just start, breaking out and just playing just a gentle music, just playing a little music, just hopefully that the others will kind of recognize my music and go towards it.
Okay. Yeah, you get about 25 feet away, you're now in the outskirts of the crowd that are kind of crossing the street to get to the gala, where Zhen's cart is. It looks like there's maybe 6 or 7 people loosely spread out between you and the cart, and you're playing your mandolin, and he snaps his gaze at you, and he just kind of looks over, and his eyes relax, and he just kind of whispers, but it's like a loud whisper. Do not be alarmed. It is but I. You may come out. It is safe, but do not tarry. The soldiers patrol these passages frequently. Quickly, you and the others to the cart.
Cool.
And now for my next impression, Jesse Owens.
So who is getting on the cart first, and who is getting on the cart second?
I'm first.
You will go last.
Cool. I'll go second.
All right. As Kravish climbs aboard the cart, Olivia, you notice that he disappears, and the cart again looks to be empty. Kravish, you look back and see Olivia looking at you with a cockeyed look on her face. However, you find yourself in the cart.
Okay.
Oh, I'll go in.
All right. Whoever behind Olivia is notices Olivia disappear.
I'll hop in.
Okay, one after another, you all get in the cart, and Zhen kind of peers over his shoulder at you. Keep your heads down and voices to a whisper. My cart is enchanted to look empty, but the illusion will only fool someone from a distance. And you see him, he's got a stone it's a purple color, and it's attached to a gold chain around his wrist. Come in, boss. I have them. They are unharmed. We are en route. And he kind of snaps his reins. Yeah. And you feel the cart lurch forward. And not many sideways glances at the cart. You know, just people kind of walking along the street. You look up and see the sky. It's not quite dark, but it's definitely 7, 8 o'clock at night. The sun has gone down, and it's starting to get a little darker out there. And it takes about the better part of an hour and a half for Zhen to navigate the streets of Brackenshire from Brightstone through, and you hear him kind of enter a what you can see is a large, tall wall that you would recognize as the outer wall of Brightstone, and you hear him murmuring, and then you hear the flick of a coin, and then the cart continues forward. As you pass where he just was, you see guards just kind of peer into the back as you leave, and then just sort of straighten up, and you continue on your way. And at the end of about an hour and a half, you feel the lull of the cart moving, just sort of putting you to sleep, or at least a light doze, until the cart stops, and you see Zhen kind of hop off and face the back of the cart. Here, friends, let us take the secret entrance to the Syndicate. You will be safe here for now. The Marquis guarantees your protection. And you see him up against a portion of the brick wall of the broom and bristle, and he just sort of smacks it with the back of his palm, and this little stone portion of the brick just sort of slides to the left about 1.5 feet. And he just kind of beckons you in, and then he goes in first.
Going off to him.
Okay. It's a very, very tight, winding passage, a very steep set of almost single width stairs, just enough for 1.5 feet of space. And it just kind of winds. It looks like it was created between a set of walls. And you see a bit of torchlight flickering off down in the distance. And you find yourself at the back of the Syndicate, almost where the Marquis' private little section was, just off to the right of that. And you look and immediately start seeing the fact that everybody here is packing stuff up. People are shoving things into crates and into boxes, tearing down tapestries, rolling them up, rolling up carpets, packing up musical instruments. And from behind you and the curtained area, sitting rather comfortably, sipping a goblet of wine amidst this mild chaos, you hear a familiar voice. Ah, crown collectors. What a pickle you find yourselves in, no? House full of corpses, our prize nowhere to be found. It seems our friends in the Sapphire have beaten us to the punch. Any idea how that may have happened? And you see him just sort of dangling his wine glass from two fingers.
None indeed. I believe those Sapphire goons must have had a tip-off about the same crown that we had. But they got there before us.
You are correct. You are correct.
It turned
You see, we have
into quite the bloodbath.
It did, which is not typically how I like to do my business, which when I heard the house was full of bodies, I momentarily was annoyed with you all, thinking you had slaughtered the entire housing staff. However...
Would we do that? No.
That was kind of that was as we found it.
Well, I have an idea how that may have happened. You see, we have not heard back from Dirk, the green-skinned dragonborn you were meant to meet with us in the last quarter, once you had the tiara. And now we know why. You see, news travels fast in the underworld. It seems the circlet has made its way into the black market, despite the Sapphire stealing out from underneath us. And not too long ago, a green-skinned dragonborn in black clothes was seen peddling a circlet of platinum and jewels matching the same description. He was accompanied by two others, a halfling and a hooded elven woman. Is this coincidence? No. No coincidences here. That rat bastard has turned on us. He has... Wait. And you see him. He sniffs towards you, Olivia. What is... Quickly, Olivia, empty your pockets, now. And right now you see the Marquis is now visibly upset. Something's got him spooked.
I'll empty my pockets.
So... immediately you dump a few, your coin purse and odds and ends, knickknacks that you've gathered, and you also put down the red gem that you bought off of Durg. He picks it up, and right now the red gem is like pulsing slowly with a red light, very, very gently. Where did you get this?
Well, I bought it off Durg when we were playing cards. He told me that this was what helped him win some hands.
This is no trinket of good luck, my friend. And he kind of takes his fingers and traces it in the air, and then taps it, and you see his blue cat-like eyes glow for a brief moment. That is no mode of possibility. It is a tracking stone. It appears he gave it to Olivia to keep tabs on you all. And he puts it on the table, and he grabs his really elaborate, elegant gold and jewel-encrusted dagger and smashes the butt of the dagger into the stone, and it just fragments into a dozen or so pieces, and the light goes out. Merde! Now, we must spirit you away from here. They may have already alerted the guards to this location. Come, friends. I'm afraid the broom and bristle will no longer serve our needs, as you can see. Naya, pack up my effects. Be sure they get all my clothes. We must leave in 3 minutes or less. And he kind of looks at you guys. I'm sorry, my friends, but it appears your heat has spilled over. We must part ways for a time. I wish you all good luck. Jen will take you to the outskirts of the city. Au revoir. And he books it. He leaves.
Go well, my friend.
You see Zhen just kind of look around a little frazzled and looks at you and, come, my friends, we must get you out of the city. The guards will surely be looking for you here before long, or the members of the Sapphire you did not manage to kill. To my cart.
Before I go, I want a little aside. I want to go to the tiefling bartender, want to flip her a silver piece, and say, a bottle of the 36 before leaving.
And she just kind of catches it in one hand and kind of looks at you like a sideways glance, like, really? Is this the time? Okay. Oh, that's cool. And she sort of turns around and she grabs 2 bottles. One looks like to be the same that you requested, and one appears to be a little different. And she goes, here, just take these. And one appears to be a little older in vintage.
Okay.
And she just kind of winks at you and says, I hope we see each other again, Kravish.
I look forward to sharing a glass with you in the future.
And she just goes back to what she was doing.
Yeah, I'm looking at too.
Okay. You depart through the secret entrance that you arrived and dive into the cart. And this time, Zhen is a little more hurried in his retreat. You guys feel that he is really looking to get out of town. And after being here already...
like I whispered to him where to find Shortcake if we can pick her up.
Yes, we will. I will have the livery visited, and I will have your pony brought to a town, or a bar on the outskirts of the city that I happen to know that we will be going to. One moment, please. And you see him kind of close his eyes and lean forward, and a little tiny bit of light emits from under his eyelids. And you would recognize this as him casting the sending spell. So it takes about 20-30 minutes. You guys are already in the Rust Quarter, and there is a western exit to the city. And after stopping very briefly, but not coming to a full stop, kind of rolling through, you do recognize the entrance gate to the city. There are guards. They don't seem particularly plussed about what you have been. They don't seem particularly interested in your cart. But on the entrance to the city, you see something being nailed to the outer wall, or to the outer gate. Something that everybody coming in and everybody coming out would see. And Kravish, Axton, and Koza, you all see it because it's a rather large piece of parchment. And the three of you, your hearts sink into your chest. And I will post what it is that you see in the chat. And if somebody would like to, go ahead and read that.
Awesome sauce.
So if somebody would like to read that to the group.
Read it? Fuck it, I'll do it. Right then. Wanted for crimes against His Majesty's soldiers. It was witnessed and testified that one dragonborn, accompanied by 2 humans, did ensnare... Ah, crap. Somebody else should probably do this. Sorry, guys.
Cool.
It was witnessed and testified that one dragonborn, accompanied by 2 humans, did ensnare and control 2 loyal members of the Black Guard through arcane means at the residence of a prominent imperial citizen of Brackenshire for the purposes of committing multiple murders, robbery, vandalism, and general skullduggery. I object to the murders and the vandalism. The Dragonborn. The thieves are described as follows. The Dragonborn is silver of scale, adorned in brown and green minstrel raiment, and calls himself Prevish. The younger human is white of hair, fair of skin, and humble in dress, carrying a large two-handed blade on his back and halberd in hand. The elderly humanoid is balding gray of hair, bluish lavender of skin, and dressed in well-made clothes, probably stolen from the Brightstone residence, and is capable of changing his form into that of a bear with murderous intent. An unconfirmed accomplice capable of visual mimicry was also encountered. Reward 1,000 gold for each of these vagrants. See Captain Devereaux of the City Watch for details.
Greatly considers turning in his acquaintances.
Let's hope that's a fleeting thought. Well,
as you all are sitting there discussing, you do notice that you are kind of leaving the front gate area. You're about 50 feet away from the front gate, and feeling very glad that there is an enchantment on this cart.
All right. Item 1 on my checklist, new clothes.
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to not give Craze the center stage for a while. He's gonna have to be dismissed into my subconscious for some time.
Axton Woodman Bloom, did you ever get your armor back, lad?
Yeah, that's about the time where Axton goes, "Oh man, no! Damn it!" He just kind of stares at the city that you're leaving, going, "My armor!"
That longing look there.
My beautiful, beautiful armor.
Can somebody like gently whisper to Jim over, relating that Axton's armor was being repaired? Same time we get the pony back, we get his armor.
So he kind of looks back at the city and goes, "Do you remember where it was being kept at?"
Crap, had to tell me that.
Like he might remember.
Right, wasn't it being like repaired or something?
Yes,
Axton remembers it. Remembers the name of the blacksmith. It is in Hammertop. It's on the opposite side of the city from where you are. Hammertop is on the eastern quarter of the city.
Yeah.
So he just says, "One moment, please," and you see him close his eyes once again. And after a few moments, his eyes open, and just as he pulls into now surrounding Brackenshire are a smattering of sort of mini villages. There's people that live in huts and houses outside the city walls, and you see him pull the cart into the quote unquote parking lot of a kind of a slumped and leaning one-story brick building made of alabaster and stone with a hay roof. And there appears to be one or two lanterns on either side of this building. And he just sort of hops off and says, "I will have my contact pick up your armor. But I would have suggested you to at least make it worth his while." So you find yourselves in the shade or the shadow of a very meager 2 or 3 table tavern where every corner is a shadow corner, and there's 2 people in there. Both of them seem to be kind of leaning against the bar, leaning down into their mugs, paying nobody any mind. "It's all right. We are out of the city and you are safe. But I would suggest heading west. It is unlikely your bounty will follow you outside of the city, but the further west you go, the safer you shall be. I will see that the Marquis does what he can to clear your names, but I make no promises. I will message you with news when I can. In the meantime, the Marquis offers you his contact in Margalite. There we have a chapter of the Syndicate. and he would be honored if you called on her. She could offer you work. Her name is Rien, but I would step lightly and show your respect. She is the Marquis's sister. So, do you have any prospects after this? What is next for the crown collectors?
Well, we've been looking into a dragon's lair, said to be beyond the marshes. We might want to investigate that.
The marshes. Do you mean the Caulded Stix?
Yes.
Out of character, I wasn't sure. Is it the Caulded Stix that the dragon's den is? Beyond? Just asking in general to anyone.
Yeah, I'm looking.
You did just get a map.
Yeah, right there up front.
Well, if you're traveling to the swamp, I might recommend stopping into the village of Rathburn. We have a storehouse there we use for goods that we want to keep out of the city. It's not the most inviting of places in the world, but it would serve you in laying low at least for a few days. Call on my man Bartok. He runs the Rusty Cup Inn. Tell him Jen sent you. And good luck, my friends. I do hope to see you all again someday soon. And he, just as he's kind of packing up his things and climbing up on his cart, you see another, like a very, very small cart being pulled by a man set up top, and he kind of nods to Jen. Jen nods to him and kind of swings his neck back at you. And tied to the side of the cart is a pony, and inside the cart is a set of full plate armor.
Thank you, Shen. Thank you for everything. I hope that our paths cross again.
Yes, and I do very much hope to see you all. Good luck to you. Please let me know if there is anything I can do in the meantime. And like I said, I will message you when the coast is clear to return to the city, if ever. Good day to you, gentlemen. And he just sort of hits the reins on his horse and very slowly starts to make his way back into the city.
All right,
so
just some spelling and name checks. Just quit. You said the syndicate contact was named Bartok at the Rusted Cup. Did you say?
No, the syndicate contact is in Margalit, and her name is Rien.
Rien.
Yes, that is the syndicate contact in Margalit. If you look at your map, and Bartok is simply a guy that Jen knows that runs the Rusty Cup in Rathburn.
Okay, so a dude that Jen knows at the Rusty Cup. Okay. And then Rien, who is the Marquis's sister. Is the contact at Margalit. Okay, cool.
I'll give that guy who brought shortcake and Axton's armor. I'll give him like a small sack of gold, with a small sack of silver with like 87 silver.
Okay.
Thank you for your troubles, my friend.
He kind of holds it in his hand and gives you a very respectful, subtle nod. And after you remove the pony from the side tied to the side of the cart and the armor, he just very quickly makes a U-turn back into the city. So you guys are on the outskirts of the western side of Brackenshire. It is rather late. It's getting to be about 9-10 o'clock at night. You have been marked, at least 3 of your company, and only 2 of them by facial recognition alone. You're feeling rather exposed this close to the city. However, you're also feeling rather tired. What do the Crown Collectors do tonight?
Well, before anything happens, that gear is gonna go through his pack and pull out that potion he bought earlier for the sore throat / cure disease, and he's gonna go over and offer it and go, "Hey, Ophelia, I got this for shortcake. It's a little horse." And then he's gonna go away.
Oh. did he say he's a little horse?
Hey, shortcake's a little horse, so here you go.
It was a delayed reaction pun.
XD.
Yeah.
So are you casting Tiny Hut just in the middle of the front of this bar, or where are you doing that at?
Well, we don't know.
I suggest we go to the outskirts of the town, maybe somewhere far off where people won't see us, and then we make our tiny hut and camp for the night.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check, Olivia, since this seems to be your idea.
Master of
Nice. Nice. Yeah, you get the feeling that even this far out is a little too close for comfort. So per your suggestion, the party kind of goes off of the beaten path where this portion of Brackenshire leads south to the Emperor's Highway. You kind of go a little northwest in the direction that you feel you probably will be going tomorrow. And after about a mile, you guys stop. You between a large boulder and a dead tree, and you don't see anybody around. You feel this is probably good as place as any to take a rest. And cast Liamon's tiny hut. There is a dome shape. What color you want the dome to be? Black? Okay, he's miming for some reason. So the hut is black, and you guys feel relatively safe, and you collapse into whatever corner of the hut you find the most comfortable, and just crash out. I mean, it's been one hell of a day. You find yourselves trepidatious to sleep at first. But as the longer you lay there, the more your eyelids just slam shut, and you fall deep into unconsciousness. And just that kind of deep, dreamless sleep where you close your eyes and then snap them awake instantly. It is morning. I mean, you guys slept so hard. Sorry?
The one with that deep sleep when you wake up and you're surprised you're still alive.
Yeah. I mean, right now you are very sore. You guys can go ahead and reset your hit points and your spell slots, but you're still sore. Your mind is sore. Your heart is sore. You can't believe what just happened in such a short span of time. The city of Brackenshire, it looked like it held so much possibility, so much potential, and the fact that two of your party members have been identified, both by facial recognition and one by their name, makes you feel that this city is probably off limits, at least for a little while. And it just feels like a great shame. But you're alive. The morning breeze greets you. You all feel hungry and thirsty and groggy, but well rested. Your stomachs are rumbling. What would you guys like to do?
Break into our rations.
I stop Kravish before he can get too far with his rations, and I cast Good Berry and summon 6 berries.
Yeah, so Koza just sort of hands over a handful of these large cherry tomato-like spheres that just look absolutely delicious, and you pop them in your mouth, and they got a sweetness, a tartness, and as you eat them, you feel your stomach rumbling starts to subside. You don't feel full. You especially don't feel. Atgear especially does not feel full. He feels like he probably could do with maybe 3 or 4 more of these things. But you definitely feel sated, at least for the time being.
Okay. I go into my pack and get my change of clothes.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before deciding what to do for the rest of the day?
No,
Yeah,
nothing
I'll,
really for the morning.
I change into my other clothes, ditch the hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
we
I
should get
guess.
you like some handkerchiefs or something for your face.
Say that again?
Maybe we should get you something to cover your faces with.
Well, I have a hood that I could just pull the hood over.
But maybe a bandana across the mouth like a bandit.
Right, or a tiny fake mustache. Or a large fake mustache.
How about a
Or a
large,
fake
thick pair of
nose.
black spectacles? I mean,
That
if
could
we're
work.
Clark Kent.
Right,
Hmm.
no one would be able to recognize you like that.
Maybe some horns.
Also, let me just go ahead and say what we're all thinking. That went great. We got so much coin. No, just hear me out here. Rather than getting stuck in that one city, now we're out, we're adventuring. The crown collectors, we have crowns to collect. And we have a pocket full of coin. Far more coin than we started. That seems like a win. Yeah, except for you three.
Here. Like I'll raise up an imaginary. No, in fact, I'll make the illusion of a glass, and I'll just like raise it up. Cheers.
It's like, you guys are fucked, but we're doing great.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Well, yeah. The morning is yours. You see Axton. He is currently kind of adjusting his armor and getting the proper fit, and kind of rubbing a little bit of oil he had in a small bottle into the joints, and just kind of feeling it around and moving it around, and he puts his helmet of the Silver Dragon King back on, and he just kind of looks around going, I don't think anybody will recognize me now.
Does it have a visor?
Oh yeah, it's a full face guard.
Yeah. For completeness' sake, I offer that I can use my disguise makeup kit to maybe like try to darken the complexion of his face at least.
Yeah, you give him the Batman raccoon eyes, where the little eye holes, you don't really see his eyes now as well as you did before, and he lifts it up, and he's kind of got like a footballer makeup arrangement around his eyes, and he's just slaps his face guard back down, and you can't even tell that he's human at this point. He's completely covered head to toe in metal.
Well, that leaves you, Kravish. Maybe a bandana? Maybe just a spare t-shirt.
I have white powder cake makeup. I could at least cover my face and hands so that I could have the appearance of a white dragon.
That could be interesting. I'd love to see that.
So I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. So you go ahead and give me a performance check, Kravish.
Yeah, if I finish up.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. It's nothing fancy. You're just kind of slapping theater makeup on your face and the backs of your hands, and
Tops
with
of
a
my
change
feet.
of clothes.
Yeah.
The tops of your feet. Without, I would say it's probably not going to last the day, but it's definitely not going to give away that a silver dragonborn was seen traversing this area of the landscape. Not that you have seen anybody in the immediate area anyway. You kind of look to the sky, you get your bearings as far as north and west. You look west on the direction that you're looking at heading, and I mean it's just empty wildland. But should anybody be walking around, you feel pretty confident that they wouldn't tell anybody else that they saw a silver dragonborn.
Right. This is very humiliating having to hide my heritage like this.
It's okay. Soon we'll be out of shot of this town, and you'll be able to be your true self again. I just go around getting things ready for us to hit the road.
Okay. Yeah, you pack up camp. Drops the tiny hut, and unfortunately, they did not grab your horses. So the only horse you have available at your disposal is Shortcake. The rest of you will be on foot. And I don't think you really ride her, do you?
No, yeah, she just carries my copious amounts of clothes.
Right on. You don't find yourself at the behest of any roads or trails. You're literally just kind of trudging through the tall grass, and in the far distance, according to that map that you pilfered off of the gentleman in the sewer, it looks like you're about maybe 20 miles away. Away in the distance, you can see the Grasping Ridge mountain range to your right, which is north of you, just kind of lining your field of view, and you can see the sky about 20, 30 miles away just gets really, really dark and dank, and even the landscape seems to reflect a dark dankness way in the distance.
Well, off to the dankness, I see.
All right. I mean, that parchment is the closest thing we have to a destination.
Indeed. Wait, let me just check that parchment again. Okay, so we're on the Emperor's Highway, and we're going to...
No, we're not on the Emperor's Highway.
Stix. Oh, we're not on the Emperor's Highway.
You're a little north of it.
Okay.
Probably like where the beginning of the arrow is.
Okay, we're pretty close to the Caulded Stix then. Would I be able to estimate how long we would take to get to the Caulded Stix and into the
Well, why don't you go ahead and make a survival check?
Cool. Master of survival. Nat one.
Yeah, you're pretty sure it's like 400 miles away.
Well, we should be there. We should be there in no time. It's about 400 miles away.
Olivia, could Jelly be able to help us get our bearings a little better? Give us an aerial view of things?
I mean, we're pretty close. I don't know if that's quite necessary. We'll be there in maybe 5 to 10 minutes. At normal walking pace.
Really?
400 miles in 10 minutes. That's pretty wild.
400 miles. Shit, I was thinking like feet. So, like, how long would it take to get like 400 miles? That's well,
like you're looking at your map that you found. It says it gives you a little legend of distance at the bottom. So you get just kind of gauging it, and I would say that you're not really able to navigate yourself by just looking at the land. You tried that. You have no idea really how long it would take you to walk there. You get the idea that you take a guess that it's probably anywhere between 20 to 30 miles away from where you are right now. It's literally the farthest you can see on the horizon is right around where you think you need to be.
Okay, I will send Jelly up to get us an aerial view. As I guess we just walk at normal pace. I don't know if he hasn't like double pace it.
Yeah. Let me bring this up here. Movement. So, at a fast pace, which is you're going to have a -5 penalty to passive wisdom, you can make 30 miles per day. At a normal pace, you have just straight perception rolls. And at a slow pace, if you're using stealth, you have you only move 18 miles a day, and you're able to use a stealth check.
Yeah. Is Axton going to be able to keep up with a fast pace? I mean, let's remember he's in full plate.
Well, he can move. Mm-hmm. He can move at that speed, but he's going to have serious disadvantages to stealth. But he can make his movement without a problem. He's a very strong individual.
Yeah, I mean, he is like quite an athletic fella. Even in full plate, I think he'll still out stamina Olivia. But yeah, I guess just continue walking for the day.
Okay.
At the pace that is not stealth. Like, I guess this the fast pace, because I mean we can't really stealth anyway. We got a man creaking in his clink clank.
Okay. Well, go ahead and give me a whoever is leading the charge. Go ahead and give me a perception check, and you're gonna add a -5 to whatever you get. I would say whoever has the best
leading
wisdom.
the charge. Yeah, like maybe Ko's. I'm guessing. Like, I'd assume he has good wisdom.
Noah, are you there?
Yeah.
Did you hear what was just said?
No.
So you're not there.
Okay, yeah, so you're leading the charge because we assume you have good wisdom, being like a druid fella.
Alright, so what do you need out of me?
We need you to make a perception check.
-5.
-5, yeah.
Perception or deception?
Perception.
Okay.
You obviously haven't been listening at all.
11.
11. Okay. So it takes about on foot the better part of the day, and about you get your feet start to hurt. You're going up and down hills. The grass is thick here. The grass is thick there. The terrain, being that you're north of the Emperor's Highway, just kind of traveling along the wild landscape of Valandiir, your feet start sticking into mud. That you start to notice towards the end of the day these pools of water starting to become more and more frequent with this brackish black water in them, and the trees start to become a little scarcer in their foliage. More and more of these dead trees that are just growing up out of the ground and leaning in twisted ways. The sky begins to grow gray. Koza, your ears perk up, and you hear something on all sides of you. You hear a very, very low, localized, but in different spots, kind of low grumbling, growling. Like,
I stop the entire party and I say, hold on, I hear something. And I just want to look around to see if I can ascertain any, like, shadows in the wood or, you know...
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
What... 13.
13. You see several sets of large paw prints that look canine in nature, and they seem to be kind of going in all different directions. You also see about 50 or 60 feet in front of you, you see what appears to be the corpse of an elk or a reindeer or large deer. It's on its side. Its abdomen's been torn open. There's a large pool of blood underneath its body. And that's when you see, in between bushes ahead of you, a black-furred, canine-like creature that starts to step out to you and just sort of look at you.
What, like, does he, when he's looking at me, what's his general demeanor? Does he look hostile?
Yeah, make an insight check.
6.
He looks kind of mad.
Okay.
That's about as descriptive as you can get right now because your heart is jumping through your...
I'm going to look him in the eyes and with my beast speak, I'm going to just simply say, you know, we mean no harm. We are just passing through. There's no need to attack. And see what that does.
Let's see here. I'm going to roll insight on a wolf. He rolled a 4. So he can't speak to you, obviously, but he just keeps looking, and you see him look over your shoulder just a bit and go, woof. And with your passive wisdom, you can hear behind you movement behind your group, and you see 2 more of these creatures. Now that you've got a good look at him, these do not look like typical wolves that you've seen before. They look strange. They look twisted. Their face is covered in teeth. Their eyes are sallow and slightly glowing. And you've never seen a wolf like this, and I'll actually post a picture of what these little guys look like. There you go.
Whoa.
Very feral, very angry. His from his chin to his toes is covered in blood, and he just his mouth just sort of his mouth just sort of splits, and he just and all of them converge on your location. I need everybody to roll initiative. And I will bring you all... Oh, that's why, because I lost 20.
Great.
Roll 20.
Oh, wait a minute.
Boop. Hold on. I'll bring you there. Give me just a moment. Bam. Boop. There we go. So, if you guys would like to place yourselves on the lower right portion of the map, you notice that the water is about ankle deep. It is brackish, it is slimy, There's dead vegetation everywhere. What am I trying to do here?
Well, I'm assuming Koza would be up in the lead, so.
Yep. Koza, you can put yourself in the sort of the middle bottom right of the map because you were the first on scene.
So, like, are these pools of water traversable? Are they, like, deep, or...?
Make a perception check real fast.
Cool. Eight.
Koza got a 14 for initiative, but
Okay, hold on. Let me bring it up. Okay, dokie. All right. If you guys want to go ahead and add your turns.
Cool. Took 4.
All right. We got one guy over here. And one guy over here. And one guy is right behind y'all.
Mm.
All right. Waiting on Atgear, and I will put... It won't let me add a turn. Okay, I got your back. But dang. Atgear rolled a 21. Let's say he's back here with you guys. All right. The wolves, they get a go. That's a 19. Oops. Okay. And... Really? Why don't I want to let you add a turn? All right, well, I got him out for... there you go. And Koza, go ahead and I think you can add your number. Okay. Koza, what's your initiative? I don't know why it won't let you input it. Hello, Koza.
He's trying to speak, but I don't.
There we go. No, he got it. We got it. Okay.
All right, cool.
Can you guys
All
not
right.
hear me?
Yes.
We couldn't hear you a minute ago.
Oh, okay.
We can hear you now. All right. So first up in the order is your group is surrounded by 3 of these mutant-looking wolf creatures. They're snarling. They're a bit of ways away from you. What would you like to do, and how would you like to do it? You are first.
Yuno's gonna go with Firebolt on this one.
Okay.
And that... 16.
16 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Hold, please. If I can find my D10, which I should have 4 of, but I can only find 1 of for whatever reason. $11 points of fire damage.
All right, you rocket forward a bolt of fiery energy from your hand, and just as it impacts the wolf's hide, you blast its fur from its body, and you notice that it has these bony protrusions sticking out of its shoulder blade and right behind its elbow. The whole wolf itself just seems a bit hardier than your typical canine terrificus, or whatever the Latin name is for wolf. It does hurt it, but you imagined if this was a normal wolf that would have killed it, but this definitely is a little hardier than most.
That ends Yuno's turn.
Okay. Up next is Atgear.
I think because he's just driving right now.
Okay,
He's
well,
driving.
then I'm going to have, because I just inserted Axton into the mix.
Says here he advances into melee with the nearest wolf.
Okay, so that would be, the nearest wolf would be back here, so he is going to walk up. And let's see here. Yeah, he can definitely make that. And it's the mirrored wolf while banging the evil scimitar on the shield if never used. Okay, he's going to strike Mr. Weird Wolf with his cancer stick. That's an 18. That definitely hits.
He rolled a 23. But it still hits.
I didn't know he was able to roll. Okay, that's good. 23 definitely hits. I'll let you roll your own damage, Mr. Mike. Cool. Sneak attack. Slashing. You don't get sneak attack because he's not actually engaged with Kirbish, unless that is a feat you get where someone is adjacent.
If he has higher initiative than anything, he gets advantage.
Yeah, that's right. It's his assassin feat. That's right. Yeah. Assassin thing. Get it. Cool. Okay. So on that one, all right. Yeah, you slash right into the side of this wolf and slice a nice chunk of meat off of his chest and shoulder area. He starts spilling blood. The blood looks like it's dribbling towards the sword, but it doesn't rocket towards the blade with the vigor and fervor that you've seen before. Something about this creature you find the sword doesn't really find appetizing, if I could use that word. That is the So that hits. If you wanted to use an offhand attack. Okay, so that's it. Next in line is the wolf's turn.
Kravish?
So, are you? Where is Kravish? Kravish, you are down. Oh, why did it do that? Oh, that's weird. Oh, hold on. Yeah, you should have gone first, Kravish, before Atgear. I don't know why it started with Atgear. That's weird.
Fine.
Okay, we're going to retroactive and pretend that you went first.
That's fine. Alright. I'm going to come back closer to this way.
Okay, the wolf gets an attack of opportunity on you. And he is going to...
Can I use the disengage action?
Do you have... Are you going to use that as your action?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you get away without a problem, and that is going to use up your action.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Do you want to use a bonus action for anything?
Let me double check. I don't think I have very many good bonus actions. Nobody needs a healing, so I think that endeth my turn.
Okay. So Accurate just went. Now it's the wolf's turn. This wolf here is going to attempt a bite attack on Atgear. He says I can't because the shield, because I'm Bay. Okay. All right. So he has advantage on... Oh, no, he's not within 5 feet of his buddy, so never mind. He's going to attempt to bite you. That is a unnatural 20 to hit. And I need Atgear to make a strength saving throw, please. And that's going to be this. Atgear takes 11 points of damage, and you are knocked prone. It is now on top of you. Uncanny dodge that. Yeah. Yep. You reduce the damage to 5. This guy here is going to... Yeah, he's got a speed of 50. He's definitely going to make that. Right over the stump towards Axton. And he is going to attack Axton, who now has his armor on. So he should have, like, wicked AC. Let's go ahead and plunk that on there. There we go. Okay. He's going to make a similar bite attack against him. That's a natural 4. So he snaps right onto Axton's kind of forearm armor, and he's just sort of shaking him and getting it off of him. And just glides right off of his armor. He does not have any more attacks. Nope. Okay. And this guy here is going to cross... I'm guessing this is more than... Yeah, he's going to cross and make his way right over to Koza. And he's going to bite Koza.
Get bit.
And that is... Nope, that's a natural 3. Plus 5 is an 8. Does an 8 hit, Koza?
No, it does not.
All right.
Although it comes way too close for comfort.
Yeah. He snaps right at your forearm, and and you just kind of grab him by the snout, and as you do, you find you're not just grabbing snout, but your like hands are grabbing pieces of his jaw that have dislodged, and there's just nothing but teeth and bits of like strips of leather that what you thought was leather, but it's actually like multiple ends of his tongue that are just kind of whipping around the front of his face trying to snap at you. But that's it, and it is Axton Woodman Bloom's turn. He is going to go for a precision attack. Kravish, yeah, I'll have you make a perception check on your turn. And we'll see if you notice that. Alright. So let's do a menacing attack. What the hey? That's a 3. That's not enough to hit. Oh wait, you need to do his halberd. There we go. 12. Nope, that's not going to hit. But he gets 2 attacks, so he's going to swing again. Another 12. Oh boy. Barry's not going to be happy with me. But that's going to miss. He's going to save his action surge. I feel like he would do that. But he is also going to get into his tunnel fighting style or tunnel fighting stance. Yeah. And that's going to end his turn. What did I say? You guys miss a session and you roll like crap? That seems to be holding true.
No.
But it is Koza's turn.
Okay, so Koza is going to cast Bark Skin on himself, which means his AC can't be anything less than 16.
Okay.
And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Thorn Whip on the wall in front of me.
Bark Skin. Let me see. How about that? It doesn't look right. Go ahead and cast your Thorn Whip while I try to find something that will make you look tough.
It's real good.
How about that?
23.
Oh yeah, 23 definitely hits.
Alright, too bad it's only a d6.
It all depends.
Is 4 points of piercing damage.
Alright. 4 points of piercing damage. Okay. What else? Anything else?
I think I'll move towards the group a little more.
Can I get an opportunity attack?
He's gonna snap at you. And that's just a 11. So, just as you leave, he goes to snap at your hand, and you're able to get away real quick.
That'll end my turn.
All right. Okay. Olivia, you're next, and you know you're on deck.
Cool. Are these creatures looking like they're like hurting, or are they still like pretty tough?
They've taken some damage. One of them took a lot of damage, but doesn't seem to be knocking him off of his stride. The other two are almost completely unharmed. So.
Okay, I'm just gonna chuck 2. Well, yeah, I'm gonna just chuck 2 Eldritch Blasts at the one that's on top of that gear.
Okay.
20 and a natural 1.
All right, one of them hit.
So that's 12 points of force damage.
All right. You rock it off and you blast bits of fur off of its body, and as you basically skin a portion of its side, you do notice that its ribs are like showing. They're showing through the skin, almost like this creature is starving to death. But you definitely feel like you've broken a few of those ribs, and it just sort of turns your direction, and its mouth goes.
And then Jelly's gonna shoot his short bow. 13 to hit.
13 does not hit, unfortunately.
Cool. No, that's the end of my turn.
All right. You're up. Kravish, you're on deck.
All right, so the one that's injured, I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead on it. The one by
Technically, they're all three
here.
injured.
Oh, okay, this one.
Okay.
And he has to make a Dex saving throw.
Right. That's a.
Oh,
11.
sorry, Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, 10.
He fails.
He fails.
So, he takes 24 points of necrotic damage.
All right, 24 points of damage.
Necrotic damage, if it matters.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Big blast. This ethereal ghost-like bell-shaped object materializes over the wolf's head. You see it just rock to the left and then bong, and it reverberates. And you see it kind of shakes the gaze of this wolf just briefly as you see its fur and its huckles go up on its back, just kind of rattles it, and it just sort of shakes it off and snarls, still focusing on Axton as it seems to be the biggest threat.
And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to try to pull the one that's on top of Atgear 5 feet closer to me.
Okay.
Using telekinetic. Strength save DC 16.
That is a natural 16 plus 3, which is a 19.
Okay, he goes nowhere.
He doesn't go nowhere. He doesn't even notice that you're doing it. It's very gross. It's very dirty out here. You're not used to being grody and grimy and nasty. It's been a rough couple days, and it just wasn't enough for you to concentrate on that wolf. So, it is Kravish's turn, and Atgear, you'll be next.
All right, I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers on this wolf right there.
Okay. What would you like to say?
Let's see. Let me pull up Dissonant Whispers. So there is that. So it's just like I said, a discordant melody.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Oops, that's cocked. Ooh, 9.
He takes 3d6 psychic damage, which is already rolled there for 12 points of psychic damage.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And now must immediately use its reaction if available to use as far away from me.
Well, he's going to fall as far away as he can, which is nowhere, because he falls dead. Kathump.
I was targeting this wolf right here.
Oh, well, my mistake. This wolf is fine. This wolf took 12. Oh yeah, he's okay. Okay, so he failed because they have the same stats, and he has to move. How far away? Oh, so it's off the map. We'll just consider it off the map. We'll consider that off the map. That's okay. We'll just do this.
So like,
he disappears.
Doesn't Axton get like 2 opportunity attacks or something from
that moved yet.
tunnel fighting or something?
Not from this guy because he hasn't moved away. That's
I
Atgear.
thought it was the one that was by him. I mean, sorry, not Atgear, Axton.
Yeah, this one didn't go anywhere. This is the guy that moved away.
Right. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to give Axton a die of Bardic Inspiration.
Cool. Is that a D8?
Yes.
Coolness.
Yeah, all my
Alrighty.
Bardic Inspirations are D8 now because I'm 5th level.
Right on. Okay, is that going to end your turn? You want to move?
Well, am I going to get an opportunity attack from that wolf?
You sure are.
Then no.
Okay. All right, so you kind of find yourself surrounded by your teammates. You're also backed up against the trunk of this very tall tree with just absolutely no leaves on it at all. You look up as you are in the middle of playing your mandolin to inspire your teammates, and you see what looks like some kind of large skeletal bird sitting there perched on the branches of this dead tree, just looking at all of this. And it almost looks like a vulture, a very large vulture with kind of a skeletal head. And it's just kind of looking, and as you meet eyes with it, you see just teeny tiny little yellow pinpoints of light in its empty eye sockets. And it just goes, and it's just sitting there. It's just something that you noticed.
Okay.
And Atgear is next. I use murder against the wolf on the top of me. He is gone. He's left. So you can use half your speed to get up. And if I remember correctly, you have a speed of 30. You don't have speed written on there, but you're a dwarf, so I'm guessing you have a speed of 30. 25, so you use half of it to get up, which leaves you with 10 feet left. Bonus action dash. And Kirbysha's singing, "What can I say except you're welcome?" which is a much better version of that song. Okay. So you're gonna right over here. So I'd say you got there, and then to use your dash, you can probably... Yep, you can get within melee of that dude. For sure. Scimitar of Throat Slitting definitely hits the wolf right across the face. Oh boy. That's 12 plus 15. And it's already been hurt by Koza. Alright. As you strike this wolf right in the face, and you just slice its entire snout, all the different parts of its jaw just topple to the ground in pieces. And it just sort of looks at you, and it's just gushing blood. And still, and I should say on Kirbysha's turn, yes, you did notice that the blood from the wolf was oozing towards the sword, but it never really made it towards it. The blood that was already on the blade sort of slowly soaked into the blade. And as he moved, the blood that was not soaked on the blade just sort of slid off. And in a similar fashion, as he strikes this wolf, you notice almost like a sponge that's already wet. It does take on the blood. It's just a very slow pace.
Gotcha.
And Atgear, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. All right, in your head, you don't hear words. You just hear the raspy breathing of something that is hungry and thirsty and impatient and dissatisfied with the meager meal you've provided with it. It doesn't seem angry at you, as this is all that you've got, and it knows that, but it just wants something else. And that's what you feel in your head. So, it is the direwolf's turn. We've got one over here by Axton, and it is going to go for its bite attack. That's a natural 3 plus 3 is 6, so that doesn't hit. This one, however, is going to go after Atgear and go for his throat. That is a natural 18, plus 3 is a 21. So that is blah, 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 2d6. So that is 7 reduced to 3. Points of piercing damage. I need you to make another strength save, or be knocked prone again. Because that's how they roll these. That is exactly what you needed. So yeah, you grab it by it's bleeding all over you at this point. The various parts of its mouth that have been chopped away are just sort of like slapping against your face, and as it's trying to bite at you, you grab it by you kind of shove your hand into its wound, and you hear it yelping, but it's still trying to make its way on top of you. As it scrapes your face and your arms with the teeth that are still attached to its face. But that's going to end its turn, and it is Axton's turn. He is going to again try to smack this wolf with his halberd. Let's see if I can have him roll better than he did before. That's not bad. That's not bad. So we'll do a menacing. We'll do halberd. 11. Menacing attack is 4. All right, yeah. He strikes him right behind his head, and you see the wolf's neck meat just exposed and burst with blood out from the wound that was caused. It's not dead, but he's not done attacking either. So he's going to do that again. That is a miss, unfortunately. And you know what? Because he feels like it, he's going to burn his action surge. And he's going to hit him again. That's 25. That definitely hits. And, oh, wait. I had to have this guy roll a wisdom save. That's a 3. This thing is now frightened of Axton Woodman Bloom.
As well he should be.
We'll do that. And he's going to hit him again. That's a 23. That hits. Ba-dink. Hey, that's going to be enough, too. Yeah, he strikes him in the head and cuts his head clean off.
His weapon will kill.
It will kill. Come on.
My daughter is addicted to that show.
That show rules. Just saying, your daughter has good taste. So, this one is now deceased. There is one wolf left. And it is Koza's turn. It's Koza's turn.
Yeah, I know. I was getting my thing ready. I'm going to cast Conjure Animals.
Ooh, cool.
And I'm going to summon a panther right
panther?
here.
I wasn't ready for a panther.
Not a panther, sorry. A wolf, because it's the same.
Oh. Okay. Well, I think I can give you a panther,
and then I was like, wait, he probably doesn't have a panther ready.
I'm pretty quick on the draw with this thing. Ew. Why does that look so
It's
fat?
A fat boy. Fat boy.
Let's go with this guy.
And then I'm going. It says I have to roll initiative for him, so let me do that real quick.
Okay.
That's a.
Here, I got it. Watch this. Boink. All right, now tell me what it is.
That's a 8.
8. Got it. Let's see here.
And let me see, what else can I do? I think I'll cast Cure Wounds on Kravish.
I don't have any wounds.
Oh, okay. Is there anyone else?
I think so far only Atgear's been hit. And you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and I guess another Thorn Whip. Let me move a little closer. I'll go like over here.
Just a side note,
do you have something that makes you able to cast Bone Whip as a bonus action?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was going to cast it as a bonus action.
I'm saying, is there like a reason you could do it as a bonus action instead of an action?
No, he used his action to cast Conjure Animals. He's using Thorn Whip as a bonus.
Okay, no, I just meant because it takes an action to do Thorn Whip.
Oh, no, he's right. It takes an action to cast. That's my bad.
Okay.
That'll end my turn.
Okay. I don't know why this thing is like so big, but it is. It's a big boy, but it's
He's
a
a
medium
chunky
creature.
boy.
Chunky boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is your chunky boy's turn. What would you like your chunky husky
He's
wolf
going
to
to
do?
attack this wolf with a bite attack.
All right. I am looking at wolf right now,
Okay.
and it is a +4 to hit, and it's 2d4 plus 2 if you do hit.
So that's a 16 to hit.
16 hits, and then it's
And
2d4
that
plus
is-
2.
Oh, man. That's 9
Here, I'm
points
gonna-
of piercing damage.
No, I'm going to send this to you. Okay.
Okay.
And I have to make a strength save, or the dire wolf is knocked prone. Fair enough. All right, there you go. And let's see here. He rolls a natural 3. Not great.
Nope.
+3 is 6. He's
He's
prone.
prone.
Let's see. Prone. That looks like prone, even though he doesn't have any arrows in his back. Okay. Olivia? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's alright. I was going to end my turn anyway.
Okay. Olivia with Yuno on deck.
Boom. I'll just go like up to it. Since it's prone, I'm within 5 feet and I have advantage.
You have advantage on melee, not ranged attacks, which E-Blast is a ranged
Is it
attack.
melee? Is it only on melee? Okay. Well, I'll just pump out 2 E-Blasts at it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
21 and 12, I think. Only the 21 hits.
21 does hit.
Cool. That is 6 points of force damage. And
Actually, you know
Jelly
what?
will...
Not for nothing. Your first attack or your second attack failed, but I'm looking at prone. It says an attack roll against the creature has advantage of the attackers within 5 feet, which you are. Otherwise, the attack roll has disadvantage. So it doesn't say anything about melee. So that's my misremembering, but it looks like they both have advantage. So why don't you roll again? And the first roll will be to see if you get a natural 20 on the first hit. The second roll will see if you hit on the second hit.
Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, but same roll, but different damage. Nope. Shucks.
Okay,
second
well,
hit
you
doesn't
still
hit.
hit with one. You still hit with one.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's, 6 force.
Yeah, so you blast it, and it just flies. It flies apart at your E-Blast strike, your Eldritch Blast. This green-black energy rockets off your fingertips and just bisects this creature. Its legs go one way, its torso goes another, and it just splays blood and sinew all over the place.
Ew.
So, that ends combat, as there are no other creatures in sight.
Olivia turns to Koza and she's like, "There's something strange about these creatures. These don't look like normal wolves to me."
Yes. I wonder if this happened through magical means, or if perhaps it's the area that corrupted them. It's very strange indeed.
Very strange.
Well, as you guys are standing around, you kind of give a quick glance to your surroundings, and you see in the distance of maybe a mile away.
I also motion up towards them, and I was like, it looks like we have a spectator.
Actually, yeah, you look up, and that bird is gone.
Gone? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It seems to have disappeared between when you first looked up at it and when you looked up to see where it was. It seems to have scampered off somewhere.
I say it's like we previously had a similar macabre-looking spectator up there. He looked like a vulture, but skeletal in appearance of his face.
Well, if that is what I think it is, then maybe somebody knows we're here.
Get to Rathburn as quickly as we can, shall we?
Can
we put
as
that notion?
Yeah, as you're looking around at your surroundings, you look in the distance about a mile away, and you see this. A rather uninviting scene, but more definitely welcome than the sloppy wastes of the Caulded Stix. As you find yourselves in the outskirts of the swamps, the puddles and streams growing more black and slimy and more numerous, the trees offering fewer and fewer leaves on their branches. As you draw nearer to the village, the air grows sour, and there's a thick layer of fog over the village itself. There are numerous torches and candle lights, little pinpoints of light dotting this village that seems to be sat right in the middle of a causeway of slow-moving streams moving both in and out of the village. It appears just about every house, hut, lean-to, tavern, store, and structure out here is built on 3 or 4 foot tall stilts that are allowing the buildings themselves to exist without being swept away in the sludge and dank of the swamp itself. Where there's foot traffic, they're connected by little footbridges here and there that give this place kind of a spiderweb-like feel of interconnectivity. You do see a smattering of people walking about the place, and being that it's about what appears to be about a mile away, it's difficult to make out who these people are. But you do find yourselves in the short shadow of Rathburn. And with that, we're going to take a short break. Cool. So, we're going to meet back here at 5:15 Eastern Standard Time, so in about 17 minutes. And we will see what Rathburn has in store for the Crown Collectors. So we will see you guys back here.
Cool. Check you.
Okay.
Hello.
Let's do's it.
So, here you sit on the edges of town, this little swamp, this sleepy little swamp town. You hear the crickets buzzing in the background. The night air begins to, chill your bones as you approach what appears to be a very, very strange, settlement in the middle of all this bog water. But the hamlet of Rathburn lies before you. What do you guys wish to do? You're still about a quarter mile out of town.
I guess I'll send an invisible jelly to see if they have wanted posters posted outside.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for Jelly. I'll say this as you do that, you'll notice that there are no walls. There's no outer walls to Rathburn. It's just sort of a collection of structures, maybe 3 or 4 dozen structures, just sort of nestled, sitting right on top of what appears to be one of the larger thoroughfares of slow-moving creek water. But it appears this entire settlement has been built on stilts on top of this portion of swamp. With a 14, you do see kind of like leaning posts about a foot in diameter, maybe 20 feet high, that sort of permeate the ways in and out of this place, and there are wanted posters posted on them in varying degrees of dryness, decay, age. It's difficult to see. But I'm guessing you're looking for the one that you saw on the outskirts of Brackenshire, and Jelly does not see that particular wanted poster. They're posters for people that you've never met, that you don't know. Humans, elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes. I mean, there are probably 24 wanted posters that he just sort of zips in and out of really quickly, looking at all of them, and they're just to Jelly, they're just kind of nameless, faceless humanoids that he has no interest in.
Well, Jelly doesn't see our wanted posters at the posting of the town, so I assume we'll be safe here.
All right, then. Let's saunter on in. No. I would still suggest discretion, though.
Do you guys want to move in stealthily?
Well, I mean, not necessarily like stealthily, but just not drawing attention to ourselves.
Okay.
Like, they can see that there's people coming, but just not like you know, not a scene.
You don't want to be coming and banging your drums and cymbals, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Right. Well, you approach on the eastern side. Okay. I'm guessing that was a joke. If not, we can go with that. But okay. So about 60, 70 feet behind you, and just off to the right is a large pop and a burst of light and color, and it looks like the dozen or so people milling about the streets just kind of snap their heads up really quick, and it actually serves to distract your entrance as they all look up at this burst of light and color, and there's just the vaguest inkling of a oh. And as they do that, you kind of slip in right underneath the radar. The streets are not streets, they're walkways and bridges, the narrowest of which are maybe 3 or 4 feet wide, where it would be kind of awkward to pass somebody going the opposite direction. The wider thoroughfares are about 15 to 20 feet wide, large bridges that sort of straddle these very slow-moving, oozing, stinking green water creeks that just kind of permeate the entire area with large tufts of bog moss and ragweed and all different manner of swamp flora that kind of grow in this section of the world. There's bugs buzzing in and out. You don't particularly see any birds or forest animals, but you look in the water and every now and then you'll see kind of a slithering snake or a collection of leeches attacking a fish skeleton. And the buildings are sagging and leaning and covered in ivy and moss, and everything here is damp and moist, and there is a thick layer of fog that sort of rolls in and out of the town, not making it impossible to see, but you can't see the sky. And the whole area just sort of reeks with a rotting vegetation mixed with urine and feces and body odor and stale beer and rotting food and rotting meat in general, but also with a kind of a broken with little undertones of old wood and whiskey-soaked barrels, and it's a very complicated aroma bouquet that you're walking into. The people that you pass, now that you're actually in the town proper, are not your typical imperial fare. You see drow, you see tieflings, you see a couple of half-orcs and a couple of full-blooded orcs. There are goblins, there are hobgoblins, there are half-ogres, and they all just kind of walking around doing what you do when you live in a town like this. There's you look to your left, and across the way on another bridge is a half-ogre punching the lights out of what appears to be a hobgoblin, and a fully cloaked humanoid is sort of trying to break them up while another one is sort of cheering it on. Off to your right, you see what looks like a roguish individual very slyly picking the pocket of a very old elderly man on the side of a building who appears to be intoxicated. Not a very nice place. It's stinky, it's sweaty, but it's also cold. It's not a very pleasant place to be in based on where you just were earlier today. Welcome to Rathburn.
Let's go find the Chamber of Commerce. No.
Yes, use your diplomatic skills. They will serve you so well here.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys like to do?
Well, I guess let's find a place to stay for the night.
Let's try to find our way to the Rusty Cup.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Forgot about that.
Seeing as none of you are from here, okay, we're going to call this a group skill challenge on finding it, because you can't just look for signs. There are no post signs. So we're going to go around the table, and I want you all to contribute something to finding the way there without causing any undue attention to yourself, and obviously without causing a fight. So we're going to start with Dr. Bean. What would you like to do to attribute to this search for the Rusty Cup, Corey?
All right. I'm just kind of discreetly ask a few locals, looking for the Rusty Cup.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check at disadvantage. Ooh, not bad. 21. All right. So you find a couple of vaguely cloaked humanoids that appear to be maybe human or half-elven, that are just kind of leaning up against the corner of a structure with a dim glowing light on the inside of it. And you just kind of very as respectfully, without appearing too elitist or too fancy, just kind of mention that you're looking for the Rusty Cup, and they just kind of give you a look up and down and kind of nod in a direction behind them and go about their business. They don't seem to pay you any attention. So that I will call that a success. This is going to require 3 successes in order to find your destination without any incident. Koza, what would you like to do to add to this challenge?
I'm going to listen for any sort of music coming out of a building, and if I do hear music, I'm going to like people filtering in and out.
Okay, yeah, give me a perception check.
Okay. 11.
11. So you kind of, as you guys are kind of very slowly and quietly, as to not to make a spectacle of yourselves, that there are 6 of you, you're kind of keeping your eye open, and you do hear the vaguest hint of what sounds like maybe a scratchy violin, or and as you turn to look in that direction, it seems like it's heading back the way you came. and you don't really see anything to indicate which specifically direction it was. And then in your other ear, you hear what sounds like drunken catcalling and singing from two humanoid. They appear to be maybe half orc and human that are just kind of leaning against each other and just singing, "I once saw a boy with flute up his," and then you don't listen to the rest of it. And that's the other way. So you're just kind of getting pulled in a couple different directions. So, what would let's see here, Olivia? What would you like to? And just for point of order, are you still in Olivia's form, or would you have changed into something else?
So she's in Olivia's form. Just a bit of an older, uglier looking Olivia.
Okay.
She just changes into that as she comes into this place.
Okay.
And then so she'll grab like somebody as we're walking along. She'll grab them, and then use silent image to create the illusion that just her and that person are in a blackened space, so that they can't see beyond that illusion. And she just like stare into their eyes and be like, "Tell me where the rusty quarter is. Right this minute," and sort of try to scare them.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check. And I'm assuming you meant Rusty Cup.
Yeah, Rusty Cup, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as you grab this person, your eyes flare yellow, and the entire streets and town just melt into a dripping curtain of shadow around you and this middle-aged tiefling individual who he's got red skin that sort of fades into like a pale pink at his cheeks, and he's got actually two sets. So he's got four horns. Two are small and curl around his ears, and the other two go straight up and sweep back. And he's got a mane of balding white hair that just sort of tangles and falls at his shoulders over his dark, dirty brown cloak. And he's missing an eye, but he doesn't have a patch. And he's got maybe 6 teeth in his mouth. And he just sort of shudders and looks around and he goes, "It's down that way and just past the large can in the street. What is this?" What do you do now?
Like, "Very well. You may go on your way." And I drop the illusion and let him go.
He sort of blinks his eyes and just sort of looks around like you get the sense he's questioning whether that was real or not, or he's going crazy. So that was a success. Atgear, what would you like to do?
I think Atgear had to leave.
Oh, he had to leave. So I'm going to use the fact that he is a criminal, and he is going to... Let's see here. Atgear Frostmane. Well, before I offer this, is there anything Yuna would like to do? Here we go.
No, Yuno's good.
Okay. He is going to use his criminal background to communicate with the shadiest of the shady people, and he is going to roll survival to see if he can find out from anybody that he's gonna. You see Atgear kind of sidle up next to somebody who's dressed in all black with a long hood, a mask across the bottom portion of his face, and a deep scar across his eye. And you see Atgear kind of walk up and just sort of tap the back of his hand, and he starts speaking. It sounds like common, but he's using like double speak and shorthand, and he starts talking about cabbages and cargo, and you're like, what is he talking about? And you realize that Atgear is communicating in his thieves' cant, which is a form of communication only known to rogues to sort of get some information without letting anybody else know what they're talking about. And I'm going to have him roll a survival check. Let's see how he does. Yeah, that's pretty good. So the two of them finish up their their talk, and you see the cloaked individual just sort of like scratch his left shoulder and kind of weave a hand through his chin beard, and then he just sort of nods and walks in a different direction. And Atgeir sort of looks at where his hand was pointing, and he kind of gets his bearings, looks around a little bit, and then walks back over to you guys and says, "Right, it's over there by that large rusted can. It looks like this is the place."
All right then.
So yeah, you find a kind of a hole in the wall kind of dive bar. It's actually nestled on a sort of a hill a little bit where it's not on stilts, but there is sort of a moat of water that sort of straddles around the whole property of this place. There's a couple of bridges that that make their way up to it and away from it. There is a very, very faint dim glow of light coming from the doorway. There's a couple of windows that you can see, and doesn't appear to be anybody walking in or out of it. And there's just a big, what looks like somebody chopped the bottom half of an iron bucket and just bolted it right to the top of the entrance.
Well, this looks to be our place. Do we remember who we are looking for?
I do. The gentleman's name is Bartop.
Bartop. Well, yeah, I guess like Olivia enters.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and... Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, we'll all make our entrance probably like in stagger groups of 2 to 3 or something.
Okay. Atgeir's the second one in, and he seems to be right at home here. He kind of cracks his knuckles and looks around and goes, this is my kind of place. Filthy, disgusting, and empty. And he just goes right for the bar and says, "A round of ale for me and my wonderful compatriots." And at that point, you do see a bugbear in some semblance of bartender attire. He's wearing a cloth shirt. It's a little dirty. He's wearing leather suspenders. He seems to be cleaning out a mug, and he looks like this guy. Let me bring him up. There we go.
Before when he hands us our drink, before everybody takes a swig, Koz is just going to take a quick second and cast Purify Food.
Okay. Are you doing that stealth sneakily, or are you just blatantly casting a spell over everything everyone's drinking?
I'll do it stealthily.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh boy, that's pretty interesting. 19.
I'm going to say nobody except the bartender noticed, because you literally did it right in front of him. Just as he pours his drink, you're just like, bink, bink, bink. It's enough to where it looks like you're dropping like a grain of rice into everything. It's just the little grain of rice is glowing. And he just kind of looks at you, and he looks at your friends, and he's like, whatever. I don't care if you poison your friends.
Okay. Drink up, boys.
Yeah, Atgeir just downs his immediately.
Also downs hers. He just takes like a set of clothes that she had hanging over her arm from Shortcake, just goes to the bathroom and just changes into like sort of like some more common clothes, like something more like rags, like something less pretentious than her fine dress. And it returns.
All right, yeah. About a minute later, everybody's just sort of sitting at the bar. There's a couple people, and looks like there's about 6 tables in this place. There's a 15-foot wide circular stage at the back with nobody at it. A couple chairs, and There's one of the tables looks like kind of like a picnic table. At the back, there's a staircase at the southeastern corner of the place. The bar itself has 6 stools. Each table looks like it can fit about 4 people. And there's, a few barrels behind the bar against the wall with some fancier looking bottles and non-fancy bottles of liquor on a table next to the barrels. And you see this bugbear bartender just sort of kind of giving you guys a sideways glance, and finally he speaks up. He's like, "So, can't say I've ever seen you lot here before. And I have the pleasure of knowing just about everybody in Rathburn. I'm Bartok. I own the place. What's your story?"
Jen sent
Oh,
us.
we were looking for you. Oh, yeah, Jen.
Jen sent us.
Jen sent you, huh?
Hmm.
What does that mean, Jen
So-
sent you? Did he send you here to kill me?
Well,
No.
he said you might have some work for us.
Work.
Hmm.
You want to sweep the floors? You want to
No.
serve drinks? I mean, kind of work you talking about? And it's just
Well,
as
we
he
could kill
says this, you
people.
see
We could steal
you see a
things.
couple people.
Hmm.
You see a couple people walk in and just sort of give Bartok a nod. It looks like maybe a drow elf in all gray and blue, tattered clothing with a long billowing cloak behind, just sort of like walk up. Bartok pours him a small tumbler-like clay mug full of some brown liquid, slides it to him, and they just sort of saunter over to the back dark corner of the room and settle down. "So you like to kill people, huh? Well, you're in the right town for that, I'll tell you that much. But I don't really have any need of a murderer. I don't really like to start much trouble, and mostly I just like to keep my place clean, and as clean as you can get around here. It's muddy as all hell, and keep the riffraff out. Although, I'll be honest with you, it's a lot harder to do that now that, now that Jurg and Dinkin and that lot moved into town. Oh, shit. Speak of the devil." And he looks over your shoulders, and through the doorway, you see the shadow of 3 individuals, one of which is so big that the top of you can't see their actual face because the top of their head is cut off by the threshold of the door. And you see this large, grayish, tan-skinned, bald head with a big fat gold ring in its nose duck under the threshold of the door. Big belly with it's got pierced nipple rings and just like the 2 shoulder pads with spikes sticking out and bulging muscles with like hairy skin on the arms. This big huge ogre just plops down in front of the door, and behind him a orc and a hold on. An orc comes up behind him with a Goliath coming up on the other side, and all 3 of them just sort of just kind of stomp in and very, very matter of fact, with no qualms whatsoever, walk up to the last person in, which appears to be, or the last person against the bar, which is Yuno, who is dressed in his, red cloak. The ogre just kind of leans down into Yuno's face and goes, "You, Imperial, pretty clothes you got, fancy." And he just kind of looks Yuno up and down. "Give me your coat and your boot now," and just sort of palms this big spiked club on his shoulder, and you hear the Goliath go, Yeah. They all got pretty clothes. We could all look
just
pretty if we took them off ya.
Blast them with Scorching Ray. Right in the face.
Make an attack roll. Has no chill at all.
And 0 bucks to give.
All right, let's, wow, that was fast. Let's go ahead and roll initiative then.
Yeah.
15 plus 8. So 23.
All right, hold on. 20, who are you hitting with Scorching Ray?
The big fucking guy right in front of me. All 3 rays right to the face. So the first one hits. The second one is going to be a 21. That hits.
Yeah,
sure.
that hits too. Yep.
And then, sorry, doing math. 25. So those all hit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that is 2, 4, 6, D8. Or D6, sorry. Yahtzee. Ooh. Rolls good. So that is a 10, 18.
So I need you guys all to be somewhere
26.
near the bar.
26 fire damage.
Okay.
Right to the
Just give me
face.
1 second.
Yep.
I'm organizing stuff because I surprisingly didn't expect you to go there that quickly.
Come out of the gun. Amazing.
All right, you're actually like right here. Okay, here is the... Oh, that's not very nice. I don't like that one. It's the one I saw yesterday. Damn it. Yeah. Anyway, let's bring initiative into this. This looks like everybody's last turn order, so we're going to get rid of all of it. All right. How much damage?
That's going to be 26 points of fire
Right
damage.
On. Yeah.
And I got to
boom,
roll.
Boom! Blast you blasted this ogre straight in the face like a shotgun blast under the chin. You just... And this thing falls flat on its ass. Completely prone. I want to see if I can find a better mini than that. I don't really like that one. I think I'm kind of screwed. That sucks. Oh well.
And then...
This guy big.
As a quick, after I just blasted that dude, I'm going to try to telekinetically shove his buddy here 5 feet down the stairs.
That's the bartender.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
this is
one of his buddies who is over here, and then let me just get...
I will not murder the bartender in this.
Yeah, he just sort of sees this happen and scoots to the right. What the hell? This will be his bud, and his buddy is still outside, kind of. Okay, fair enough. So we'll give him a turn, and his buddies will act on his turn. That's a natural 19, and ogres are not very fast, so that's an 18. All right, so let's give initiative, natural 20 initiative. Nice. What's your dex?
+0.
So a 20 it is. Okay. 17 initiative. Let's do this, and then let's get Atgear in the mix. And let's get Axton in the mix. Oops.
Yes, we need Axton in the mix.
We're going to say that he was right here by the bartender.
Yuno's got this.
Okay.
Yuno's had a day. He is all about just straight up murdering all of these people. This is not an Imperial city. He is not going to get in trouble. He doesn't give a shit.
That is true. Okay. Acura got a 16. And let's do Axton as well. Okay. Axton was just kind of like back here. He hadn't even sidled up to the bar yet. When just went ham on this dude's face.
Look, Yuno's not super strong, so he's got to be quick.
Yeah. Ooh, not great. Okay, so I think we're set. Yep, we're set. Okay, but dang. All right. With that, Koza goes first. So you've got two guys in. Now you got to understand that this ogre is huge. He's actually technically large, and behind him is one of his cronies, and just behind to the left of him is his other buddy. There is a hooded person back here. There is also someone sitting at this table, and once we are moving along, I will find some minis to represent them, just so that you have an idea. Bartok is over here, and he just kind of backed up really fast. So Koza with the ogre and his buddies up next. So Koza, what would you like to do? And let's get some fight music up in here, yo.
Well, I think Koza is going to cast Conjure Animals again and summon a wolf. And we'll
You're gonna summon a wolf, will you?
Summon that right there.
Let's get that chunky boy back up in here.
Yeah, bring back Chunky Boy. And then let me.
Here's Chunky Boy. Where do you want it?
Right next to Axton. Right there.
Okay.
Okay.
He's so cute.
He is cute. And then I think I'm going to move about 10 feet back.
Okay.
And that, I guess that'll end my turn. Let me roll initiative for Chonky Boy. That's a 4 plus. Plus 2, so that's a 6 for his.
Got it. Let's do this. Okay. All right. And bonus action, anything like that?
No, that'll end my turn.
All right. It is the ogre's turn. The ogre is going to get up. He's going to use half his movement to get up, which he doesn't need most of it. And he is going to take this huge spiked club that he has in his hand, and he is going to bring it down on Yuno as hard as he possibly can. This thing goes... And he's going to slam this thing down. That is an 18 plus 6. That is 24.
I use cutting words as a reaction.
Okay.
As he goes to make his swing, someday you're going to go far, and I really hope you stay there.
All right. Is that a negative D4 to his attack roll?
8. I use a bardic inspiration die.
Do you want to roll that? Go ahead. I'll let you do that. I won't roll that for you. You can do that. All right. So that's a 22.
I tried.
I'm guessing a 22 hits you, Yuno. Yeah, now he doesn't want to talk to me.
Sorry, thought I was on unmute.
Okay.
No, Yuno is going to cast Shield as a reaction, and I cast Mage Armor earlier as a ritual before we left. So hold on 1 second. I have to do math. 13, 17. So 17 plus 5 is...
I think that's 22. No, it's
23. He don't hit me.
Oh.
No, 22.
It's 22, man.
17 plus 5. Yes, 22.
22. Okay, then he does hit.
All right.
Wait,
And
hold,
now the
hold, I did math wrong. Hold
What?
on. I gotta reread something. Alright,
Okay.
so 13 plus 4... Okay, no, I did math right. Okay. Yeah, he hits.
All right. So, Mr. Squishy Wizard, prepare to meet your consequences. That's 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, takes none of it.
All right.
Arcane
That's
Ward.
going to that's going to beat down into your pool of Arcane Ward points. So as he brings his great club down right on top of you, there's this like phasing of it as your arcane energy just sort of grips the very, and this all happens in a split second, grips the very edge of the great club and almost phases it out of you, but you do feel that your ward has been weakened quite significantly. And that's going to end his go. His buddy, however, is going to snap up. This is the orc over here. And he is going to move over to Yuno, who just attacked his friend. And he is also going to attack. I don't believe... No, that's Pole Master. I don't think Axton has the ability to attack on his reach, but that's okay. The orc is going to... I don't think he gets a attack unless he gets... I think pack tactics is the only thing he gets, which that's on an attack.
He gets an attack of opportunity or anything from getting within his area.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So the orc is going to take his great axe, and let's see, he has a bonus action. Yeah, he doesn't need to burn an aggressive bonus action, but he's going to hit you with his great axe, which is. That's 19.
Does not hit.
You already used your reaction for
Why
shield,
not?
right?
Shield lasts until the beginning of my next turn.
I thought shield was a reaction. Oh no, you're right. It
Until
does.
the start of your next turn, you have a bonus of +5 to AC, including against triggering attack.
Okay. But geez, so Yuno's like also Dexy, other than just being intelligent, he's also got high Dex.
You said Mom said you asked for me.
Okay. You also take no damage from magic missile, which is cool.
Yeah, I don't think any of these guys are using magic missile. I don't think
the
any
ogre,
of them
it's
can
a
spell
mage.
magic missile.
Alright. So, yeah, he goes to hit you and hits nothing but air as this blue striking shield just pushes the axe away. And then his buddy is going to sidle in here and get in the space, because he can move through friendlies. And he is also going to hit Yuno. But he is going to hit you with a mace. And that is not going to hit. Alright. That is the enemy's turn. Yuno, you are next. You get to react, so to speak.
Let's see. Yuno doesn't think that any of these idiots are able to cast any sort of magic, so Yuno's not going to worry about counterspelling any of them. So Yuno is going to cast Shatter, and I'm going to center it back here, so it hits all these three but does not affect Chunky Boy or myself. And they all have to make a con saving throw, DC 16. And I'm casting this at a 3rd level, just so you know.
Con save?
Yep.
Alright, the ogre just got a natural 20 plus 3 is 23.
So he'll take half.
The orc failed. Well, the orc got a 13.
Does not pass.
And the Goliath got an 18.
So 2 pass and 1 fails.
Okie doke.
Pass takes half. If I can find my d8s. And that is going to be Yahtzee. So that is going to be 14, 20, 25 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to try to shove this little dude 5 feet out the door.
So this guy, the orc, he drops dead. He is Dunsky. You see like his entire body kind of break and bend and crump, and like you hear bones just breaking under the stress of this this sonic event that just occurred. You also see a couple of chairs turn to splinters, and one of the table legs just disintegrates, and the table just sort of topples over, spilling a couple of mugs and plates, and they go clattering to the floor. And this guy took... what was that? What was half? 12?
So full was 25, so yeah, 12 would be half.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, the ogre is not looking too great.
I'm going to try to push him 5 feet back.
So that's
make
dex,
a
right? Or strength. Right.
DC
right.
16.
Yeah, that's a natural 18, and they have he's pretty strong, so he doesn't go anywhere.
We're all going to be so happy when that finally works.
I just happen to be rolling pretty well whenever he does that. So it's Atgeir's turn. He is going to grab a random mug off of the bar and just drink it really, really fast, and then slam it down, use his movement to move through all of his friendly spaces. He's going to share some space with you, Yuno. I hope you don't get any ideas. And he is going to attack with his mean slicey, bladey thingy. If I could bring up his sheet real quick. Okie dokie. And he is definitely going to get... well, he doesn't get... I don't know if Mike's listening, but I don't think sneak attack works with you if people are engaged. Maybe it does. I could be wrong.
I think you just need an ally within 5 feet. Don't necessarily need to be engaged.
Ally within 5 feet.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. He's got advantage. Boop. All right. 14 against the Goliath does not hit. This Goliath is wearing a little bit of armor. So, and he doesn't get an offhand, so he just he grabs the nearest mug over here, and instead of downing it, he just sort of splashes it on the Goliath's face and just curses at him in Dwarvish. And that's going to end Atgeir's turn, unfortunately. Kribish, you're up!
All right.
And Olivia's on deck.
Make my way over this way. Get up on stage. And I use my turn to cast Vicious Mockery on the ogre.
Okay.
Or I just advise him, don't play hide and seek because no one will seek you.
Is that a wisdom save on the ogre?
I do believe so, yes.
That's a 15.
And my spell save DC is 15.
So he makes it.
Alright, let me look it up and see what happens. My apologies.
No, take your time.
Alright,
He rolled really high, but he's got a bad wisdom, but he rolled pretty high there.
He rolled well, so he gets nothing.
Okie doke. You have a bonus action you want to go for?
Let's see. I will throw a die of Bardic Inspiration to Yuno.
What would you like to say to Yuno, or how would you like to inspire him?
Let's see. Our foes are gnawing vermin. Scatter them before your might.
Yuno, you feel invigorated. You can see the outline of their bodies within your mind, and you just imagine them blowing apart, and it delights you. Olivia, it is your turn with Chonky Boy up next.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to. You said that the ogre seems like nearly dead, and his friend is also not in very good shape.
Yeah, they're both not looking so hot. They picked a fight with a mage who just got kicked out of his own. Well, it's not Yuno's city, but Yuno doesn't like getting kicked out of any city, so.
Yuno's had a really bad day.
Yeah. Bad couple of days.
Bad couple of days, yeah.
I'm gonna hex the ogre.
Okay.
I'm gonna hex the ogre and fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at him.
Let me hex him. We'll say, ooh, I like this for hex. Yeah.
I mean, just for fun, I'll make the hex on his strength. It doesn't affect any, like, saving throws, but ability checks, not attacks. Just like, I don't know, if he tries to wrestle someone or something, I don't know.
Can you hex 2 people on one turn?
No, just one person. It's just the ogre.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, both of those hit.
And that's 20 and 21.
Oh yeah. 11 points of damage.
23.
Damn! The ogre falls flat on his back, unmoving. Yeah, your force damage hits him right in his chest, boom, and you see his eyes, his big jaundice yellowed eyes rolling back in his head, and it just falls back, his own great club striking him on the forehead as he hits the ground, and you hear him, just briefly, you hear him like doing that raspy snore, just he is out cold. Doesn't look dead, out cold. Is that going to end your turn?
Yeah, that's the end.
Okay. Koza, your husky wolf fella is up next.
No, I don't want to interrupt.
Alright, well,
No.
I'm going to...
Okay.
I can't move him. I guess I'm going to move him...
You can definitely move him here because this guy is dead and no longer an active player.
Okay, then I'll do that. And then Can I move him over here instead of, or would he be like climbing on top of the table?
Are you trying to get him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's within melee. You can attack him.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
That's a... that's an 18 to hit.
18 definitely hits the Goliath.
Alright.
Go ahead and roll damage.
So he... going to deal... 8 points of piercing damage and bite him right in his thigh.
Right in his what?
Right in his thigh.
Yeah, Chunky Boy. He's a fat wolf. You've pulled this wolf out of the Fey realm or wherever he's from, and wherever he's from, he is eating very, very well. And this wolf clambers over his dead comrade and just looks at this Goliath's leg like a big, fat, juicy steak, and just clamps on top of it, and pierces the Goliath's jugular. Or not jugular, femoral artery, and just blood splashes all over the place, and he falls dead.
Yeah! Go, Chunky Boy!
The scene settles down. Atgear's kind of a little annoyed that he didn't get the kill, but you see some of the blood start to run up the walls and along the floor, and it just shoots up off the floor into his scimitar and starts to absorb. And you see this happen more and more and more. I'm gonna have Atgear make a wisdom saving throw. Oh, no, I can do that here. I don't have to roll dice.
Yuno's gonna try to cut off both of the ogre's hands.
Yuno's gonna do. What are you gonna do that with?
My dagger.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. Make 2 attack rolls because you're. I wouldn't say you're encumbered.
That is a natural 20.
Okay.
And that is a 18 plus 7. 25.
Natural 20 equaling what? This is a targeted strike, so the AC is higher.
It is a natural 20 plus 7, so 27, okay. And then the second one would be 25.
Okay, yeah, they both hit. You can roll damage if you wish.
That is 7 plus 8. 15.
15. Okay. You kind of you in a uncanny and unorthodox a melee strike from a wizard. You guys watch as Yuno slams down with his dagger and just manages to split the tibia and fibia of his the ogre's forearms in both hands, and he just twists the knife and slams it to the ground, and both of the one after another, both of the hands pop off, and you can hear the ogre go. So that ogre just lost. Well, actually, he's unconscious, so both of those would have been max damage. So he lost. That's an automatic fail on his death save, and another automatic fail on his death save. He's got 1 left. And he's bleeding out. Does anybody wish to do anything about that?
Can you, Koza, will you cure wounds on him? I don't want him to die.
Yeah, I'm going to cast cure wounds on him.
Very bad day.
Yeah, he is bleeding out. And as this is happening, Atgear is clutching his scimitar. His eyes go black. Just totally black. And he sees Yuno slicing off this ogre's hands, and a big, dark grin just forms over Atgear's face, and he just dives into the puddle of blood that's being formed under the open wrists, and you see the sword just soaking in all that blood, and you see Atgear's face, his eyebrows go to the top of his head, and he just...
I grab Atgear by the back of his armor and just lift him up.
Okay, make a strength check, and this is going to be contested strength because he's not a willing creature. That's a natural 1.
Well, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah. What do you want to do? You've got him.
I just want him above the blood so he can't reach it.
Yeah, he's like kicking and screaming like a little toddler. But you managed to kind of grab him and lift him about 3 feet above the ground, and his his sword stops making contact with the blood, and he's like, "Let me go, you furbolg bastard!"
Can I try and rip the sword out of his hand and just throw it across the room?
Yeah, you can certainly try. Go ahead and make another strength check. This is going to be also contested.
That's worse. 8.
You know what? I'm gonna roll this on here because he'd be mad if he didn't get to see it. Strength. Contested strength check. You did a check, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He got a 10.
Yeah.
What did you get?
I try to help Koza? To give him advantage?
Where are you? Yeah. Yeah, you can roll that with advantage.
All right.
Wait, Koza, where are you?
I moved next to the ogre.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see you.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of hidden by the big action.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 7.
What was your first roll?
8. So bad on both accounts.
Okay. Yeah, you've got him. You've got him by the back of his scruff. But as you try to grab his wrist, he's not looking at you. He's just staring at the pool of blood, and he kind of like immediately waves his hand out of your way, so you're unable to grab it. But after a few seconds, he just kind of like comes to and shakes his head, and he's like, "What the hell happened?" Koza,
crazy.
Can you put me down, please?
Yeah, sorry. I put him down.
Yeah, you put him down, and it seems whatever this event was has washed over him, and he has returned to his plucky self. But yeah, for a moment there, he went a little blood crazy.
Are you okay? You went a little...
Can we intuit that this has something to do with the scimitar?
Sorry?
Can we figure that this has something to do with that weapon that he has, the scimitar?
I mean, make an insight check, but the DC is super low because it's pretty obvious.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the blood started gouting from the ogre's wrists, Atgeir's eyes went black, and he just dove the scimitar into the blood. So, I mean, you get the sense that this was all pretty. You've noticed a pattern with an insight of 18. I'll give you the. You've noticed a pattern with Atgeir over the past week or so. Pretty much ever since he started using the scimitar. Whenever there's a gout of blood in his vicinity, he instinctively wants to bring the sword closer to it. And the fact that he hasn't really been able to do this for the past few days, this large collection of blood from the ogre seems like a kid in a candy store to him, and you've seen him react in that fashion. And about that time, that's when Bartok says, "All right, whew, that was a lot. Can we all settle down a little bit here and not stain my establishment with the blood of my, admittedly not my favorite patrons, but patrons nonetheless." And you see the two patrons at either corner, they're just kind of backed against their chairs, just sort of looking, and one of them finishes their drink really quick and would go for the door, but that's where the action is, so they're just kind of sitting there. And not really putting their hands on their weapons because they seem to know better, but definitely trying to figure out if what has happened is something that they need to tangle with or not. So
I say to the barkeep, can I get another round, and one for each of those other guests you have in the bar as well? And I gesture to them to join us.
Can you repeat that? Rich, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Sure. So, can I get another round, and for everyone in the bar? And I gesture to those people in the corner to come join us. Try to get them to.
Okay. I'll say, obviously, Bartok comes over back to the bar, and he says, "Tell you what, drinks are on me if you get rid of these bodies." And he kind of gestures. It's funny. He gestures outside and points directly at the large, 10-foot wide. It's like a can or a barrel right in the middle of a main thoroughfare, and you can already see like a leg sticking out from the top of it. It's about 10 feet tall, or about 5.5 feet tall, and you can see like a foot and a calf just sort of like hanging on the edge of this can. And way over on the other side, you see what looks like a hand that's like hanging backwards off the edge. And you get the sense that this is kind of where people throw bodies. And he says, if the ogre's not dead, just kind of throw him next to the can, and when he wakes up, he can kind of remember what happened and realize he's lucky to be alive. But the other two, just get him out of here, and drinks are on me.
On it.
And as you grab these bodies and hoist them up into the barrel in the center of town, you see that there's about maybe 10 or 12 corpses in various stages of decay. There's vultures inside this thing, just picking apart the bodies, and you see what looks like a small latched door on the far side of the barrel. Maybe this thing is designed to be opened so that the bones can be disposed of, or whatever. As you make your way back in, Bartok just sort of looks at you all and says, "Well, I can certainly say that no one's going to be messing around with you guys in this town. I want to thank you very much for your assistance. Those three were probably my least favorite patrons at this place. But, yeah, I don't know how to repay you guys. But they were bad for business. And maybe now my old regulars might start showing up again. So, anything I can do for you all in a form of payment for that? That was great. Who are you, by the way?"
Well, we're the Crown Collectors. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Well, we have been wondering about some rumors we've heard about a red dragon's lair around this area. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
You see Bartok just kind of rub his chin, and he's got kind of a little chin beard. I mean, he's a bugbear. He's got hair everywhere, and he says, "Well, I don't know about any dragon in these parts, but if there were a dragon here, there's only one who would know about it. But you'd have to go further into the Styx to find her, for that is the domain of the Bog Mother. She's a mystic of sorts. She lives deep within the bosom of the swamp's fetid, ruinous filth, a few miles north of Rathburn. She's a sage, a wizened old witch. People around here are kind of a little superstitious around her. Take care. It's said that she grants wishes, but for a price. Sometimes she aids the weary, and sometimes she eats them." And one of the guys at the back of the bar goes, "Don't bother! That wretched old hag is the reason this town is the way it is. She cursed us. She's a devil, I tell you." And you hear the other one go, "Oh, shut up, Mannix, you old coot." And Bartok just kind of looks at you and says, "If you're going to go see her, just understand that she's not of this world, at least not from around here. They tend to take decorum and etiquette a little more seriously than they do around here, so I really wouldn't walk up to her cabin or hut or whatever it is, just doing your little finger gun blasting right out of the gate, because from what I've heard, she's quite capable, even though she may not look it." And as you're sitting there contemplating the idea of this old crone and what to do next, we're going to end the session there.
Oh, sweet.
So, my fine gentleman, I should say I'm surprised at how fast that went sideways, but I'm actually not.
Oh yeah, I think a couple of sessions with this crew here is
So we're looking at August 14th as our next meeting time. That was a lot of fun. I think that session went far and away better than last session.
Oh yeah.
I think you guys may have learned something about yourselves from last session. Maybe not. I don't know. But
the dice gods, the same thing as last session.
The dice gods definitely liked you better this time around.
Yeah.
All right. So
Cool.
that was really fun, guys. Thank you all for showing up, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
See you next time. Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
Nice. Cool.